Hello and welcome back to the Chopshop Network. It is I, Charlie Chopshop, your game master, dungeon master, and this is Waterdeep Dragon Heist. This is stream 1 of Dragon Heist, so welcome. Oh, I just noticed our dice rollers a little messed up. But yeah, welcome. I'm joined by the lovely cast of Dragon Heist right now. We have some new people joining us that have never been on our streams before, some old friends who we've been trying to get in a long time, and some new friends. So let's introduce those people to you watching at home right now, and thanks again for tuning in to you. And so let's start with my man, Crispy Thick. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Wonderful to have you. And why don't you tell everyone at home, not just everyone at home, but also everyone in your party, who you're playing, what his name is, maybe kind of a very brief description of what he looks like and what his whole deal is.
All right. So I'm playing Leodin Alphys. He's a half-elf ranger. He has brown short hair, a bit of a stubbly beard, kind of dirty, but not dirty as in poorly cut hair and just not clean. He was an urchin growing up. Grew up in the street slums until a buddy he grew up with taught him how to go outside the city walls and find food himself.
All right.
That's how he kind of became a ranger himself. Worked his way up until he could make money selling hides, doing other things, and then learned he was a pretty good shot as a mercenary as well.
Perfect. I love it. So that's Leodin, our ranger. Thanks, thanks, Austin Crispy Thick.
Yep.
And let's go on to Easy Sailor. You might recognize this man from some of our other wonderful streams. Easy. Well, first of all, I just want to say I know you're a Forgotten Realms head. For those of you that are watching and may not be like super big into D&D, Dungeons and Dragons has some sanctioned universes that they put out. Gygax and friends, Dave Arneson, the creators of D&D. Well, you can't hear me? Could you guys not hear me?
Sanctioned universes.
That's all right. Everyone on stream can still hear me, which is fine. So, and I'm explaining to them that, yeah, you know, there's all these universes. Forgotten Realms is kind of the second universe that came out after Greyhawk, and has been the one that Dungeons and Dragons and the Wizards of the Coast Company has run with, right, for a long time. Now, the others are still around. They've made new universes like Eberron, which you'll get to see in one of our other campaigns coming up with Crispy Thick. But this is Forgotten Realms. There's a ton of books about it, a bunch of famous characters. You've probably played video games set here in the past. And I know that Easy Sailor is kind of a Forgotten Realms dork, just like I am. I think he's read a fair bit of the novels, possibly, in the past.
Yeah, a few of them. I am playing Barnabas the Baker. Just an older fellow, owns a bakery. He, you know, some issues happened with his bakery, and he's trying to branch out and make a little money so he can get himself back on his feet and get back into the baking game.
Perfect. And let's go to Bougie. Bougie, now I know you have some D&D experience. Are you a Forgotten Realms guy as well, or?
I didn't know that we were playing this game, but when I saw Jarlaxle up there, I was interested.
All right.
So can't wait to meet the guy, and most probably just not know him in the game, so I'm kind of disappointed. But still, it's going to be fun. Yeah, I do have some knowledge of that universe, and looking forward to it. And for this game, I'm going to be playing Hope Silent Thread. He is a thieveling, mostly blue skin, square jaw, has quite the appearance of a manly man with dark hair and dark horns that he usually tries to decorate as much as possible. But whenever he's in public, he usually tries to hide them, not to come out too strongly. He used to not have a savory type of life, so he kind of lost his place in life due to some events, and he's trying to change the whole thing around. Since he lost his place in life, he decided to drop his real name and go to Hope, which is a sentiment that he's trying to achieve, and try to spin his life around.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's very good. All right, and let's go on to Nuka Babe. Nuka, welcome. How are you?
Oh, I'm fabulous, Charlie. Thanks for asking.
And so I know you're newer to D&D. This is your first real D&D game, yeah?
This is my first D&D anything, really. Yes.
Perfect. Well, we're so happy to have you. And as we were talking about earlier, I know you've played a lot of isometric RPGs, which are all built on the foundations of Dungeons and Dragons, pretty directly, actually. So you have some knowledge of what's going on here, I would say, too, more than you probably are aware. But have you played much Forgotten Realms games? We were just talking about this. You said you haven't really played Baldur's Gate, which is like the biggest one. Did you play Icewind Dale or the Temple of Elemental Evil or any of those other ones, possibly?
No.
All right, well, that's right. So Pillars is still, like, lore-wise, very similar. Very, very similar. The way kind of things fit into the world, and you'll get it right away, and you'll all get to kind of meet and learn about Waterdeep, the wonderful city of splendors, as we push the game forward. Cool. So that's our party now. So we need you four to decide as a group right now. How is it that you became an adventuring party? Because for the purposes of our story, you already know each other, and I think the easiest way to kind of establish that is that you already accomplished one adventure together. You defeated a mission or a job. Because the other thing required for your characters is that each of you wants to be someone who wants to lead a life of adventure or is trying to break into that life for one reason or another. So that should be one of your driving motivations. So you all need to decide right now. It can be up to you, literally anything, as long as it seems feasible for first level characters. And also one thing I want to say is I would like your characters to have at least a familiarity with Waterdeep. They don't have to be from Waterdeep, but maybe have visited or heard lots of rumors about it over time. You can make that decision. But yeah, so discuss. Who has an idea? Anyone?
Silence.
Well, I could at least my character is a Waterdeep resident, so I could have come in contact with the party perhaps as a guide to the outskirts of the city or internally.
That's a good thought. Anyone else? Let's do this. Is anyone else from Waterdeep, character-wise, you thinking?
I was thinking maybe being an outsider. I heard that something that happened in my past might have had a link or came from Waterdeep, so I kind of headed that way to find some answers or something like that. If it doesn't work, we can always change that, but I was thinking of being from the outside, so having a guide to the surroundings and the inside of Waterdeep might be an actual good connection there.
I think that's, yeah, perfect. What about Barnabas? Is he from Waterdeep?
Yeah, my bakery was in Waterdeep.
Okay. So Barnabas, you know the lay of the land a little bit. So yeah, what events led you all to be an adventuring party? Who would make sense? So we do have two bards in our party. A lot of times in Forgotten Realms, bards become bards by attending a college of some sort, even if it's only for 6 weeks or 6 years or 30 years. So you could have possibly met at a bard college abroad. Sorry if you guys hear the police sirens in the background.
As long as they don't take you away, we're good.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
They might be coming for me. I'm not certain.
Can't lose
in crime-ridden California.
I know. It's all the meth.
Barnabas, you said you were a bit older.
Yep, I'm an old man.
Okay. I was younger, street urchin. I mean, I could have spent coppers for bread at your bakery easily. It's probably all I could have afforded anyway.
I mean, so like in terms of where Barnabas is in his life, his bakery was recently destroyed. He would be out looking for work or something to do. Maybe he stumbled into a tavern looking to see if they needed a cook or somebody to make bread for him or something, or maybe odd jobs in general.
So my idea kind of for Gayless, like I said, I didn't really have much of an idea of what I had for her, but One of my ideas was kind of like she had heard about Waterdeep. She travels around and she has an interest in stories and history. So why not go to the place where there's lots of history and stories?
Yes.
So that was one of the places. She had a taste for adventure. She'd read about stories her whole life and decided that she wanted to be a part of one, make her own. So that's sort of my idea for her. And maybe she fell into, I don't know, into it with you guys somehow. She worked at a tavern, or I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
That's all good. Oh, sorry. Very loud siren.
Now he's on fire, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yep.
This Charlie's on fire!
I'm right down the street from the fire station, so that happens a lot. But yeah. Okay, so these are all great notes, I think, on like how you came to the city. I want one like defining factor that brought all of you together. So I think a good way to do this is we'll kind of do like the dungeon world style bonds real quick. And you can just, yeah, easy, I see you.
I was just thinking, you mentioned a bard's college. You know, we've got 2 bards with us. I'm an out of work like chef, baker specifically, but you know, and I could have picked up the street urchin on my way in. Maybe we're cooking dinner at the bard's college.
Like that's the job you got.
We kind of all met there.
Yeah, actually, that's not bad.
You know, not such a hot job, and we want to find something else.
Perfect. Yeah, I like that. So
And I, looking for adventures, like, hey, assholes, let's get together. We'll do this.
perfect. So you guys,
Maybe not exactly like that. But.
So one more time. Who meets who on the edge of town? Austin, you're coming back in town from being a ranger, yeah.
Yep.
And you pick up this street urchin who is Bougie, our bard, right? Well, I need to change all of your names. I just realized on the stream. I didn't know what your character names were yet. Hope. So you pick up Hope on the way into the city, right?
Sure.
And take him to the Bard College, I guess?
Yeah, you know, I know a guy who's cooking over here and can help us make a few coppers.
All right. And so how do you know him? That's my question.
How do I know Barnabas, or how do I know Hope?
Barnabas. How do you know that he's cooking over yonder?
Before his shop went down, I was a young lad living in Waterdeep, and he was the only guy around who'd spare me a few coppers for some bread.
We established that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm like adjusting our overlay as we're going.
Yeah, you're good.
So perfect. Yeah. And so you took them over there, and Galus, how did you get mixed up? Were you going to the Bard College or just visiting, or?
I could say I was going to the Bard College.
Like trying to enroll, possibly.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I like the idea
go
that
ahead.
maybe they denied you for enrolling, and were like.
She got frustrated, and then when we get there, she started making up stories like she was running the place.
It could be anything like that. I just like the idea
That'll
that like
teach them. I got a mission for you. Let me go on a mission.
I feel like that gives you a lot of motivation, like being denied. Like they're just like writing me off as like this like out of towner, and you know, I need to get some renowned possibly, so I can come back and be like, well, I'm this fucking hero. Because one thing I'll say about Waterdeep is they revere their heroes here. They really do. It's a city where adventurers have played an important part in history for a long time. Many former adventurers are now higher up positions and, you know, held as heroes in this city. So people love adventurers. It's very common. Sometimes if you're wearing adventuring gear, people will just ask you for autographs and things like that because they think it'll be worth something someday. So
I like it.
All right. Perfect. So that gives us a good basis. So you all finish your job of serving this food. You make a little bit of coin, and you head to a tavern, right? The tavern is a very famous tavern in Waterdeep, known as the Yawning Portal. And so let's talk about this real quick. How long have all of you been in Waterdeep? I'm assuming at least for a day or two, yeah?
You're not long.
Yeah.
So, who has been to the Yawning Portal before? Okay, so Leodin has been there. Barnabas has been there. Hope you haven't been yet. Galus, would you think you have visited yet or no?
I would say that this is probably, since I'm a newbie to D&D, I would like to say that this is Galus's first time there.
Okay.
So
I think maybe she's heard about it. It's a place rife with stories. So, okay, great. So you go to the Yawning Portal, and you all decide to meet there for a drink and talk about maybe drumming up some future work. Leodin has heard that, and maybe even in the past, drummed up some work there. It's the kind of place where adventurers definitely can get work. And we'll get into a little bit more why about the tavern right now. So, the Yawning Portal. Well, let me open a few things here. I'm finally done adjusting, I think. So, a couple things I want to show you guys real quick. I know, Claire, you're newer to Roll20, and some of you may not know about all the things we have set up for you. So, if you click on your Journal tab in Roll20, it's the one that looks like a newspaper in the top right. There's a folder called Player Characters. You open that up, you can find your character sheet in there. And to open your character sheet, you just click it, and you have some tabs you can click through. Take a look. Some of you, I copied some of your stuff over for you. It may not all be there. Like, Galus, you might want to you may have to refill in your personality traits and that kind of stuff. I got all the basic stuff, though. Your attacks and spells should all be there. So, you all have your character sheets. Does everybody see that? You find that okay, Nuka?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, great. And so in that player characters folder in the journal tab there, I also put a journals folder. If you open that, then each of you should have a journal in there. And right now it's just a picture of a journal. But if you click it and then you click the edit button at the top right, it gives you a text field to start filling out. If you have to scroll down a little bit, but there's a description and notes section. And I would really like it if you all kept your game notes digitally in here. It helps me because then I can read them in between sessions, remind me of details, things like that. So if you're going to keep notes, please try and do it in that little journal tab. Now, Claire, one more hot tip for you. It's going to help you keep things like this open. So when you click your journal and the little article for it opens on like the desktop or the map area, if you double click the header, like where it says Galus's journal at the very top, it'll minimize it to like a little rectangle on your map. Did that work? If you like literally double click the words of the header. Same thing if you have your character sheet open and you double click the header of your character sheet, it minimizes it to a little rectangle, and you can double click it again to reopen it. It's super handy. You can have a bunch of things open and minimize at a time. You're not getting that? So do you have your sheet open in front of you in Roll20?
Me? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So at the very top, you see where it just says Galus, your name, like the very, very top of the sheet window.
Yes.
Just double click right on your name.
Okay.
Did that minimize it into a little?
It made it bigger. Wait, minimize. Got it. I got it. It worked.
Okay. So like minimize it to a little rectangle on the map, yeah?
Not on the map.
Oh, you may have your setup for pop-out windows, like if you have, which is fine too. That's a different way of organizing things that I don't use, but a lot of people do. So like your character sheet, does it pop out in a separate browser window, Claire?
You might want to say that again.
When you open your character sheet or any other, the articles, like your journal, does it open in like a separate browser window?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You're good then.
Okay.
You just, yeah. The way I was trying to teach you was for if you're not using the pop-out windows, which you're not, which is fine. If you have two monitors, it works really well to not use the pop-out windows, or to use the pop-out windows like you are. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry. So yeah, that's kind of the main things. I just wanted you to see your journal tabs there and definitely try and use those. It helps me like a whole lot.
Yep, you bet.
So let's get right into it. So the Yawning Portal, right? Let me see if I can find some descriptive text built into this wonderful module that we're running. So the Yawning Portal is a famous inn and tavern located in the Castle Ward of Waterdeep. Adventurers can meet all sorts of colorful characters here. Excuse me. So there's a couple features about the Yawning Portal that have made it very, very famous. In the very center of the Yawning Portal is a gigantic stone well, literally right in the middle of the common room. And I'm going to put you on a sweet little piece of art they gave us here. It takes a minute to load, but it's a cool little cartoon of all the people in the Yawning Portal. So the whole tavern is built around this well in the floor, and it's taking a very long time to load for me. There we go. The whole portal is built around this well in the floor, and the well is actually a shaft. It used to be a wizard's tower that hundreds of years ago collapsed down into the underneath of the city, right? And now it's made like a shaft, like an inverted tower. And the different windows and doors of the towers as you go down into it, like exit into different caves, into a giant dungeon that spreads out underneath the city known as Undermountain, right? So this is the only one of the few known entrances to Undermountain, which is rife with adventure. All kinds of guilds keep weird little headquarters down there. Monsters make roost there. You can also get access to kind of a black market city underneath called Skullport, right? So it's very common for when you're sitting kind of in this tavern for a group of people in armor and weapons to come in, and with this huge pulley system rigged over this giant open stone well, they just start lowering people down into it while you're drinking at your table right next to it. That's a very common occurrence. So the man that opened this place is also very famous. His name is Durnan. And Durnan was once an adventurer as well, among many other things. And he, along with his friend Mert, had some famous adventures down into Undermountain. And he's kind of the one that discovered this well. And then he came back after his adventures with his riches and spoils and used them to build this tavern for adventurers to use around it. So basically, Durnan is making money off of other people's adventures. You pay him a small tax. He lets you go down in the Yawning Portal, which is kind of cool. So also those of you that are familiar with Forgotten Realms might see some familiar faces dotting this little map, including Matt Mercer in the bottom right. Minsk is on the second floor. Anyway, so that's the basics of kind of the portal. And while you're here, those of you that have been here before, and those of you that haven't, I'm going to let you choose a familiar face. So we'll say you guys have been here drinking for about an hour, and in that time you've made a connection with one other patron here, right? It may be someone you knew previously if this is a place you visit regularly, or maybe someone you just made a small connection with while you've been here this very evening. So I'll give you a list of people to choose from. So there's Bonnie, right? Bonnie, a human barmaid, is kind of a good-looking gal. Hold on, actually I have some text for her somewhere here. Let's see. Bonnie. She works for Durnan, and she keeps to herself. She's pretty stern, kind of lady, but she's friendly enough. There is Durnan. You can also have him as your contact, the proprietor of the Yawning Portal, retired adventurer, man of few words. There's Matrim, 3 Strings Mereg. People just call him 3 Strings, though. He is kind of a socially awkward, timid bard that hangs out here, a human as well. There is Jalister Silvermane, this fella. And yeah, he works for the Lord's Alliance. Most people know that. He's pretty open about it. The Lord's Alliance being like one of the bigger overarching kind of government facilities around here. It's kind of an alliance between 4 huge city-states. There's Mayloon Wardragon. And I believe there's rumors about this fellow that he has ties to Force Grey and was a warrior for them. Force Grey being like a very elite guard society here in Waterdeep. There is Obaya Ude. And she is visiting from Cholt, trying to sponsor adventurers who want to go down into Undermountain. There is, I think there's one more. And last, there's Yagra Stonefist. She's a half-orc woman. She wears leather armor. and you kind of notice she's been hanging around another very well-dressed man who sits in a back booth. You don't know his name, but he's this handsome sun elf with long golden hair. And a lot of people stop by this booth to like pay him respects, it seems like. And Yager kind of guards him, but also mingles with others around the bar too. So out of the people I just showed you, pick one that is your contact. So one more time, that was Durnan, Bonnie, 3 Strings, Yagra Stonefist, Jalister Silvermane, or Obaya Uday, or Melun War Dragon. So let's go around. Each of you tell me who your connection is here. And what the connection you made with them was.
I could perhaps have some kind of connection with Yager Stonefish.
Okay.
I do speak Orcish.
All right.
That could have piqued her interest in general, and I've just had a few chats with her here and there as she's been in and out.
All right. What's your background again? Uh-oh, did we lose somebody?
Yeah.
I'll wait for him to pop back.
You can go ahead and tell us. The cameras
Okay.
are messed up, but we can still hear you. Okay.
Okay. Well, sorry, what was the question again?
What's your relationship with Yagra Stonefist?
I was an urchin. I've been in and out. I speak Orcish. I could have had a few chats with her in native tongue. Strange for a half elf, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just piqued her interest in general.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's good enough. Like, you maybe just had a short passing conversation with her, but spoke Orcish, and she appreciated that.
Yeah, enough to, pop in, say hi, have a chat here and there whenever she's in.
Whenever you started talking to her, she was like, "It is good to hear the language of my homeland."
And I speak it very broken, but I still speak it. The street urchin, when I was a kid, another child was a half-orc himself. Taught me the language.
Okay.
We used it as a sort of pseudo thieves' cant.
Perfect. Yeah, it was like your own code. I like that a lot. Great. Anyone else who was your connection?
Okay. So what was his name? 3 Strings, right?
Yeah, 3 Strings.
All right. So my character, I've been feeling like Galus would probably have met him, possibly even before the Bards Guild fiasco.
Mm-hmm.
And she bullied him a little bit because she was just like, hey, you, why don't you listen to me? And like, you're gonna help me, right? So he's sort of like, I don't know. This is sort of like this whole idea I had was like, she kind of bullies him. Like, he's sort of her contact. She kind of knows him from before, but...
Well, I like the idea maybe that you weren't even supposed to be up for admissions at the school, but you bullied him to be like, you're going to sneak me in here, you little shit. And, and he did. He got you in. So...
That's it.
If anything, you're more indebted to him, but the way you play the dynamic, he would never know that. He just thinks he owes you more and more and more. Perfect. I love it. What about you there, Easy?
I was kind of thinking, was it Jalister Silvermane?
Mm-hmm.
I would think that, since he's in that kind of secret guild, or wait, was it the government guild or the secret one?
Jalister, neither. I will tell you who's in secret guilds if you want to have like contacts with the underworld. Actually, Yagra would probably be the best person. Oh
no, it wasn't like I didn't.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just thinking he was formed like if he was part of a group, maybe they came and bought.
Sorry, you go ahead. I'll stop interrupting you.
No, I was just gonna say maybe he was like frequently in my store buying pastries for like the group. Like maybe he was the donut boy every morning.
Oh, okay. Well, the one guy was in Force Grey, so I could see him buying donuts for Force Grey every morning. The Lord's Alliance is a little bit bigger. The guy that was in Force Grey, or was friends, or former Force Grey, was Melun.
Okay, maybe that's the one I was thinking of then. Yeah, maybe Melun came in every morning and was like buying donuts, or bagels or whatever.
All right, perfect. I love it.
Every morning, and so like I'm familiar with him. I've got a little bit of a rapport with him.
All right, so the last person is Bougie. Bougie, now I think you probably missed a lot of the I don't know, did you miss any of the NPCs I popped up? I'll pop them up again. You need.
Actually, I got all of them. So we get to choose one.
That you have a connection with, either from being here previously or from somewhere else in the city, or that like you just like made some small connection with him in the hour that you've been in the bar this evening.
Okay. You said that Bonnie would be kind of a keep to herself kind of girl.
I mean, she's friendly enough to patrons, but she knows in a place like this that you don't need to say much. You know, like people will take advantage of pretty much anything you say here. So she is more talkative probably outside of work, at least you think. You kind of get that impression.
Yeah, so definitely I would go for her. Would try to get to know her more and kind of start building that relationship, because I have a feeling that afterwards it's going to be paying off. So he would definitely go for leveraging her kind of personality.
Sweet. So I feel like Hope is the kind of person that really understands the value of having a local barmaid on his side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely kind of shadowing that way. Like he knows how to deal with people, how to manipulate people into getting what he needs. Not necessarily to hurt them, but for personal gain. So he's definitely in that kind of thread of personality.
All right, perfect. I love it. Okay, so each of you have a connection. Definitely denote that, because I won't remember exactly who your connection was. And like maybe a quick note about how you met them or what your actual connection was too. But great, yeah. So you each have your little connect. Let me do some looking here to see where we start. See if there's any more info I want to give you on the Yawning Portal before we jump into the actual story. I don't think so. Here, I can give you the written description. So the place is a stone building with a slate roof and several chimneys. Most of the ground floor is taken up by the tavern's common room, which contains a 40-foot diameter open well, actually the outer shell of a sunken stone tower, that descends deeply underground to the first level of Undermountain, the sprawling dungeon beneath Waterdeep. A rope and pulley mechanism is used to lower adventurers into the well and hoist them out. The upper floors of the Yawning Portal contain comfortable, nicely appointed rooms for guests. Durnan, the proprietor, charges standard price for food, drink, and lodging. So those of you that are from out of town may also be seeking out a room, and this would be a perfect place for you to do so.
Okay.
Would anyone want to be staying here?
Well, that depends.
I'm gonna stay here.
Definitely, if Bonnie is close by, I would want to stay in here.
Okay. What I want to know what it depends on, Galus, exactly.
Well, I mean, like, are my bros hanging out here? If they are, then I am too.
Well, yeah, I would think that the one thing you probably heard is this is a place where big, powerful adventurers come and start adventures. So you thought, like, good stories, maybe some money I can make, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If I don't sleep in here, it's outside.
All right.
Also getting the reputation, getting into the Bard College.
Yeah, this is a good place to get reputation for sure. So, and yes, your friends suggest to bring you here, and then you get here and you're like, oh, like, I don't have a room yet. Like, maybe this is the place, or not. You might be like, this is a little too, like, low class for me. I don't know. It depends on what your character would think, you know?
I feel like she would be like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I want.
Perfect. All right. So, yeah, you're all sitting at a table in the Yawning Portal together. You sit around a sturdy wooden table lit by a bright burning candle and littered with plates cleared of food and half-drained tankards. The sounds of gamblers yelling and drunken adventurers singing bawdy songs nearly drown out the off-key strumming of a young bard 3 tables over. Then all the noise is eclipsed by a shout. A man yells, "You pig! You like killing me mates, does ya?" Then a 7-foot-tall half-orc is hit by a wild, swinging punch from a male human who was the one yelling. And the male human has a shaved head covered with eye-shaped tattoos. 4 other humans stand behind him, ready to jump into the fray. The half-orc stands up. It's Yagra. She cracks her knuckles, roars, and leaps at the tattooed figure. Before you can see if blood is drawn, spectators from all around the bar just crowd in around the brawl to the point where none of you can see any longer. This place is like packed full, by the way. So those 5 are, you know, the people I showed you are just the kind of the people you're acutely aware of. There are so many other people packed into this bar, and now they've just all crowded around this fight. And the man keeps yelling like, "You bloody fucking Zent! You like killing my mates!" And he keeps yelling it as they just like start duking it out. So what do each of you do?
I'm gonna look towards my, you know, sort of friend who seems to be getting like either harassed or whatever. I'm gonna look towards my friends and say, I might have to intervene. I know that woman.
I'm going to try. Galus is going to try and stand on top of the table so she can get a better look.
Okay. What is everyone else doing?
So at the mention of you saying that we might need to intervene, I kind of take my loot out, put it on the table, kind of look around, say fine, and then get off the table and ready my hand on my rapier.
All right, and with, you know, knowing that I've got support behind me, seeing that, I'm gonna kind of slink through the crowd and try to get my myself a little closer.
Okay. And my question is, Hope, are you going to follow him? Because the crowd, even if you have your, you know, weapons drawn, the crowd is still definitely separating you from any action. You can't even tell or see what's happening.
How far away are we from the action?
You're like on the outside of the crowd, so you're not sure. Maybe it's 5 people deep, 10 people deep. Not far. You can hear like the yelling and, you know.
So I see him starting to go through the crowd, and I'm like, oh god, we're gonna have to go through the. So I just grab my loot and start trying to follow him through the crowd.
All right. And last, what is Barnabas? How does Barnabas react to this fight breaking out?
At this point, Barnabas is just kind of sitting at a table with his drink in his hand, thinking, and maybe even saying out loud, I don't know what's going on over there, but they got themselves into this. They need to get themselves out of it. And then takes another sip.
All right.
I would just like to make it perfectly clear that Galus isn't looking and concerned. She's going, yeah, right, him.
Perfect. So let's get your tokens on this map, and you guys can show me where you're sitting. So the way to put your token on the map, if you open your journal tab on the right side again, where like you would open your character sheet usually. If you click your character's name in the player characters folder in the journal tab, click the name and drag it to the map. You can drag your token out to the map. So click it right on your... There you go. All right. And yeah, pick a table where you all are sitting. So these men over here are the men who have crowded up on Yagra, and they're fighting kind of right here on the southern side of the well. Now, yeah, I'm not going to show you any peasants on the map, just the important people, but the crowd is taking up kind of this area.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, Bonnie's close by. So as you start going through the crowd, and I'm kind of rolling my eyes that we have to intervene, so I guess I'm going to follow you. As I turn around to grab my loot from the table, I see Bonnie, and my whole composure completely changes. I look at her, I'm like, don't worry, we got this. And start heading, you know, with a huge smile on my face.
She just kind of looks at you like, what? And then like tries to stand up on her tippy toes to see over the crowd as you like, you know, push your way in between the people and disappear into the crowd. So let's put Leodin up here. Leodin, how close do you want to get? Just in sight or like?
Oh, I want to get right up in there and see right. if this is just a brawl or if they're killing each other.
Okay, I think Hope is up back behind somewhere as well. And Galus, yeah, you have no problem. You jump up on the table and you can get a clear view of these people like just starting to trounce each other, basically. So let's see. So by the time you get up on the table and you can see everything, and by the time the rest of you push kind of through the rowdy spectators to the clearing where the fight is happening, the man with the tattoos all over his shaved head seems to be pretty beat up. and he's trying to escape from underneath Yagra. Like, she's on top of him, just like wailing on him. But the other 4 men are like jumping on her from behind and starting to grab her and pull her away.
I'm gonna jump on one's back.
All right. And from there, let's roll initiative. Woohoo! Your first battle. So the way you do this, I'm gonna have everyone roll it. Click your token. When you click your token, a bunch of buttons, small buttons, pop up across the top left of the browser window. One of them says 1 initiative if you click your token. Do you see those, Claire?
Wait.
So when you select, so you have to have the pointer tool. So there's a toolbar in the top left. The top left arrow is the pointer, select move tool.
Okay.
And then you click your token, which selects her. And then when you have your token selected, like a little row of buttons across the top left should pop up. It says 1, initiative, 2, intern, 3, skill check. Do you see those? Only when your token's selected. It'll be at the very top of your browser window. Very top left.
Top left. Man. Alright, say that one more time.
No worries. So click and select your token. Is your token selected?
I have I picked it, yeah. Oh wait, on top, like very above.
Well, like if you just click on your token once, it highlights it, and then 3 little bubbles pop up: a red bubble, a green bubble, and a blue bubble, right above your token. Yeah. Okay, so
I see them.
If you see those bubbles, you should also see a little row of buttons at the top left of your browser window, like up where you clicked the select move tool. Right to the right of that, it should say initiative. Maybe they're not working. Oh, you know what? You may need to. If you're not using this in Chrome, that may be why.
Okay. I am using it in Chrome, so maybe it's just me. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. There's always a learning curve with Roll20. There's like a lot going on with it. So another way you can do it, if you have your token selected, you can just go to your character sheet and click the button that says initiative as well.
Okay. Initiative.
It's like in the top center area somewhere of your character sheet. Kind of central, near the top, not all the way at the top.
Click the word. It's not like a button.
Yeah, just the word initiative underneath the number. Yeah. I know. It's frustrating. It's a lot. I understand. So if you're looking at your character sheet, do you see like your stats and stuff, like strength, dexterity, constitution?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're at strength at the very top left of your character sheet, and you go right one, it's inspiration. Right one more, it's armor class. Right one more, it's initiative.
Ah, I see it. Yes.
And then click right on the word initiative. There you go. And you had your token selected, so it automatically puts it into chat, or into the token tracker, which is great. And I'll roll for the bad guys real fast.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't have to. Okay,
not worth it.
All the bad guys go first. How's that?
No.
They don't.
You're wrong.
Okay, so Hope, you get to go first, actually. So you see Leodin go to jump on the closest one's back. How do you react? And I'm going to remove the squiggly line for the crowd at this point. We kind of have a basic
Is the cloud showing any signs of clearing up, or am I still in too deep so I can't act or anything and I still need to move?
You can act. Yeah, the crowd is like pushing back because you guys are kind of expanding the edge of the fight outward. You know what I mean?
So the tattooed Corint's, tattooed person, that person is currently attacking Stonefist.
Right now, actually, she's on top of him, wailing on him, but all of his buddies are about to jump on her. And he looks pretty badly beat underneath her. She's like going like wild on him with her fists.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and play a few string and do I believe it's called Dissonant Whispers.
Yeah. I just noticed that our turn tracker isn't working. Okay, Dissonant Whispers. I got a cat screaming at me. cat, you need to move. Okay.
So I believe that's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, can you go into your spells and turn it on so it drops the spell card in with it as well?
Yes.
That way it explains how it works for all of us at home.
Do you want me to recast it again so I can so you can see it?
No, just read it out to me this first time. But yeah, try and always have, for spells like that, try and keep your spell
You
cards.
whisper a dissonant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. The creature doesn't move into obvious dangerous ground, such as a fire or a pit. Damn it. There's a pit right there. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move away. A deafened creature automatically succeeds this save.
Okay, so you start playing and singing this silent tune, but no one else can hear it except for, who are you casting it on again?
I'm going to be casting it on the Grig.
Okay, so you start to cast this on Grig, and he's going to make a saving throw to see if he can withstand it. I just rigged up a nice little saving throw macro as well. And wisdom, you said, right?
Yes.
Oh, it whispered it to me for some reason, but he rolled an 8, so he fails.
Spell DC 13, yes. So he's going to be taking, what, 10 damage?
And he takes 10 damage as he starts like grabbing at his head and being like, ah! Just like screaming in pain. And he actually drops to his knees and blood starts running out of his nose and his ears. Like this is badly fucking him up. He's also bloodied.
And he needs to start running, right?
And he does. He has to use his reaction. And it says just to move 5 feet, right?
He has full speed.
His full speed, all right. So, yeah, he runs away from you. Yagra doesn't get an opportunity attack because she is grappled currently.
I want to say that before he starts running, he starts grabbing his head, he starts nose bleeding a lot. Then he kind of looks around to see where it's coming from. Then all he sees within the whole crowd is those two yellow, like shoddy eyes just looking and staring at him, which cause him to panic and to start running away.
Those like glowing tiefling eyes just like peering out from like this like moving sea of people, and he can just tell that's the source of it as he like runs screaming. And yeah, so he's bloodied. So those of you that may not know, we use a 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons rule. It's not really a rule. It's the bloodied rule, and it's just an indicator for you players on how hurt the bad guy is. If I say someone is bloodied, that means they're below half hit points. That's all it means. I'm not going to tell you exactly how many hit points, but somewhere below 50% is bloodied. And once a creature becomes bloodied, it is visibly hurt. Like you can see blood, it's got a broken limb, whatever it might be. All right, great. Hope anything else for you?
I'm going to use my bonus action, Bardic Inspiration, to give to my friend Leodin.
Okay.
And a Bardic Inspiration die for whatever action he's going to be doing next.
So real quick, I forgot we had these bards. Let me give you, I have a great little Bardic Inspiration macro. And
excellent.
I'll give it to you right now. Give me 1 second. It just takes 1 minute
Cool.
to set up.
So as you're setting it up, basically from my first chord that nobody heard, the second chord that I play is definitely one that Leodin heard before, and you can hear within the sound of my voice that I'm saying we have advantage into this fight, and it's turning in our tide. The tide is turning on our side.
Nice. All right, great. So you should have that. If you click off your token and click back on, you have it has a little dice, and it says inspo in your macro buttons.
I do.
And you can click that. It lets you select another player. Oh, it looks like you selected yourself with it, maybe.
I did. Not sure if I can select another player though.
It's used to be set up that way. It might be. I may have grabbed the wrong one, but either way. So yeah, and you cast it on Leodin. You said, yeah.
Yes.
So Leodin, you feel these words of inspiration like filling you, and now I put that little chained heart icon on you to let you know that you can roll a Bardic Inspiration dice when you need to.
Cool.
All right. Krentz's turn. Krintz tries to break away from Yagra as she's just like pummeling him from on top of him. He rolls a 12 on strength, and Yagra rolls. Oh, she's whispering her rolls too. She rolled a 7, so he actually does like force her up off of him and starts like scooting back away from her on his butt as he like slowly kind of stands up as he pushes himself back. So Krentz slides back here and stands up. All right. That's his whole turn. Nora moves forward, attacks Yagra. Telegor turns around here and attacks Leoden. This other thug, Darius, also kind of crowds around you there, Leoden. So Telegor, the first one, takes a punch at you.
Okay.
He rolls a 12. What's your armor class?
15.
Okay. The next one next to him also, like they're both just like trying to kind of tag team you, swings at you.
Oh, damn it. Okay, that one hit.
Okay, and you take 3 damage.
Okay.
From the punch. And Grig, so with the Dissonant Whispers, he's no longer affected by it, right? Now he can do whatever he wants. Actually, you know what? I think he keeps running anyway. I think Grig just like runs the opposite side around the portal. And is just trying to get the hell out of there, basically. In fact, we're going to say that Grig is afeared. He's afeared of you. All right, that's their turn. Leoden, so you see Grig run away. The other two turn and start just like unleashing haymakers in your direction. Well, you dodge the first one. The second guy catches you in the chin a little bit. How do you respond?
I'm gonna just try to jump on top of him and grapple him. So I'm gonna go for a grapple on Darius.
Okay.
Darius.
Yep. So go ahead and roll an athletics check to try and grapple him.
Not bad for a -1.
Yeah, he rolled a 10. So what's your grapple look like? What do you do to him?
Oh, I'm just gonna like full on my chest in his face, arms around his head, just squeezing his head, and trying to drag him to the ground.
So you got him in like the
from Left 4 Dead. Yeah.
You got like the classic like headlock, just dragging him down to the ground.
I just want to bring him to the floor. Yeah.
All right, great. So yeah, you have Darius all wrapped up. This one bandit. Perfect. Anything else?
That should be it.
Okay. And Barnabas. He's still sitting at the table. Now the crowd like starts like doing like some like oh like you know astounded sounds as they like push back and the fight kind of breaks through the crowd. Kind of now in the view of your table, you see Leoden and Darius like just rolling over each other.
I'm just kind of gonna glance up at Galus, who's watching the fight, while I'm sitting at the table drinking my beer, and ask, "Are we in this fight now?"
Oh, I'd be sorely disappointed if you said we weren't.
I'm gonna grumble. Okay.
What do you do, Barnabas? Anything besides that?
Yep.
I was
Sorry,
that'd
I'm
be
on push to talk and
no,
trying
it's
to use the
Ready
track
action
pad.
to take
That's
my
right.
action.
I was just hoping that was your whole turn. That would have been great.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna walk down here, past the tables, past Bonnie, and then cut over towards Darius. And that's all of my movement speed.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to grab my rolling pin-shaped maul and just smash Darius as hard as I can.
Okay, let me ask you: are you purposely trying to deal non-lethal damage to him, or are you just like letting it loose, basically?
I'm gonna say I'm frustrated enough with being interrupted from drinking my beer that if I accidentally kill him, it's a mistake
Okay.
that I'm gonna have to live with.
I'm gonna take that as I'm not rolling non-lethal damage. So go ahead and roll. All right, a 23 with your maul definitely strikes square on him. Why don't you roll the damage?
Shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank God.
You
Okay.
crack him across the chin, and you hear like a loud crack as his jaw like snaps to one side, and his like head like whips to the side like he got, you know, from the force. You think you definitely broke his jaw. You see like blood and teeth spray kind of out of his mouth, but he's still up, and like he turns back at you, absolutely pissed now. Oh, actually, he's still I forgot, he's still technically grappled. So he like looks up. He doesn't even look up. You just hear him screaming in pain from this headlock, basically, that he's in. You like do like an upward swing into Leodin's headlock and like catch him in the chin and mouth, basically. All right, anything else, Barnabas?
I would like to, as kind of like a cursory role-playing thing, not really meaning anything. After I do that, point my maul towards Telegor and say, "You want some of this, you little pissant?"
He kind of starts to look a little worried and almost like backs up for a second. Until Krentz like elbows him, like they're back to back, and he's like, "Get your head in the fight, man!" and like elbows him from behind, and he like perks back up and like, you know, gets in kind of a fisticuffs position to get ready. All right. So Galus, it's your first turn of your first combat, right? So this is the basic combat rules. You can move once and attack once. Basically, you can move once and take anything that takes, quote-unquote, an action, right? So an action can be a spell, it can be an attack, it can be, like, anything that takes, like, 6 seconds, basically. Like lifting something heavy and throwing it could also be an action. And your movement is your movement speed, and because you're a half-elf, your movement speed is 30. So each square on the map is 5 feet. Your movement speed is 30. So board game rules, you can move 6 squares in any direction on your turn.
6 squares in any direction on my turn. Okay.
And you can like do complex paths, you know what I mean, like a board game. So yeah, you can move 6 squares on the grid, and you can also attack. Now your attacks, if you look on your character sheet, are in the very, very center square. It says Cure Wounds is the first one listed, and then Dissonant Whispers, and then Sleep, and then Rapier, and then Dagger. Do you see that in the very center? Yeah. So if you click one of those, it will roll to hit. If you do one that's a spell, it'll burn a spell slot, which we'll get into how you track that a little more later. What do you think you want to do for your very first turn?
For my very first turn. Okay. So, first of all, Galus whispers to herself, "My God. First day out and about, and already things are getting quite exciting." She rubs her hands together. All right, so let me think. I think, would it be possible if I could pick up a chair and throw it at someone?
Yeah, totally. Since most people don't seem to be using their weapons, it seems very apropos to like pick up improvised weapons. So yeah, you like grab a bar stool. Which one are you gonna go towards and hit? So also to like point things out to me, if you have your select move or the arrow tool, if you left click and hold anywhere, it pings. Like, did you see I just pinged Darius? So which guy would you rush toward with the stool to attack?
So let me see. So left click, right? You said?
Yep, left click and hold, and yeah, in the spot you clicked, and it will ping. Oh. So you want to like?
Sorry.
No, that's all right. So you want to run up like this way, and then like hit him with a chair.
Yes.
All right. So you like scoop up a chair, you run like along the edge of the pit, past all your teammates, and just like go to bust this chair over the guy's back. So this you're not gonna have programmed into your sheet, so you're gonna roll this manually. I'll show you how to do it real quick. So you're gonna roll a d20. Plus, so look on your sheet real quick, Galus. What is your strength score?
It's an 8.
Okay, so the modifier is a -1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna say, let me see, are you proficient with simple weapons? You are. Okay, great. So you're gonna roll a d20 plus your strength, which in this case is -1. And you're also going to add your proficiency bonus, which is at this level is 2. It's just a flat number of 2. So I'm typing something into chat. So if you copy what I just typed into chat and then paste it, you see where it says /RD20 -1 + 2. If you copy that and paste it in and then press enter, it will roll that for you. Okay. And anytime you want to roll anything, you can do /R space and then like a dice number. Perfect. Okay. So you rolled a 10 to hit. His armor class is a 12. So like as you come up and like right when you go to swing with the chair, Telegor like knocks the chair out of your hand from the side and it goes like clattering down the pit below and into the darkness. And after like a few seconds, you hear like a crash at the bottom of the pit where the stool, you know, busts.
Oh, balls.
All right. So I want to see if we can find your macro buttons one more time. So when you click and select your token, right? And you have her selected, again, look at the top left of your browser window. You see him now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So one of them says number 2 in turn. If you click that, it'll just go. It'll advance to the next player's turn.
All right, perfect.
Sweet. Yeah, now you got it. And all right, Yagra's turn. So Yagra, of course, like comes jumping back towards Krent, swinging with a huge punch. Ooh, and she rolls a 20 and does 2 damage to Krent's and like knocks like literally like boom, like he's like standing up, but like the lights are on, but no one's home, and he like.
Fuck, I don't even know if we needed the help.
Like teeth just like fall out of Krent's mouth. He's not down, but he's badly bloodied at this point. He's like teetering on the edge of consciousness, basically.
I almost feel bad for helping.
You could have helped from the other side as well, but you had an affinity for Yagra, so. All right, great. Hope, it's your turn.
So Hope, seeing that his target is running away in fear, he's not going to allow that to happen. And he's going to be pursuing him in order to... Let me just check the range on this. It's 30 feet. All right. So he's going to be moving a little bit from the crowd is currently, I guess, gathered around the around the main fight.
They're still there, but the crowd has dispersed quite a bit because the fight is spreading out. So people are watching from like a further back distance and a little bit more of a scattered, not so packed together at this point.
All right, so I'm going to take a few steps back from the fight, and seeing that my friend seems to be doing well in it, and I'm going to get into range in order to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter at our friend that is trying to escape.
Okay, great.
To try and immobilize him, so I'm gonna use the card.
Now he is frightened. Does that give any? Let me see. Frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of fear is within its line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear, so you don't get advantage or anything, but
okay.
He'll get disadvantage if he were to try and attack you. So you roll Tasha's Hideous Laughter on him, and he gets to roll a Wisdom saving throw? Or fall down. So what does your Tasha's Hideous Laughter spell look like when you cast it? How does it work?
So as he's trying to run away, I'm trying to catch his attention back. So I kind of whistle, very loud whistle in his direction, and then he kind of turns his head at me. And then I look at him and I scream at him like, "Why is your nose bleeding so much?" And then Hideous Laughter tries to get into his head, making him laugh at his own, why am I even bleeding? And he just starts laughing nonstop. Okay. And he just falls to the ground like immobilized, laughing.
So even though he has like a look of total terror on his face, he's just like like cracking up as he falls to the ground, like clutching his face, and eventually the laughter dies out as he like kind of chokes, like coughs, and then like seems to be fully unconscious on the floor after that. So you bring this man down with psychic laughter, and it's the bandits' turn again, starting with the tattooed leader Krentz, with his like 1 hit point left. Like says to everyone else, like literally like almost out on his feet, like swaying back and forth, is like, "Come on, boys, now's the time to rally," and like tries to take like a half like shitty swing at Yagra, and I'm actually gonna give him disadvantage on his attack.
That's because he's missing so many teeth.
Oops, it says scimitar, but it's a punch. And with some amazing luck, he strikes her across the face. And like she takes it, like spits a tooth out, and then just like goes right back at him. Now the other bandits, let's see. Darius is still grappled, right? By Leodin. So he's going to try and break free from your grapple, like trying to push your arms off his head and stand up, you know, at any cost, basically. And he rolls a 13. Why don't you give me an athletics check to see if he breaks?
You bet. Yeah, my strength is 8.
Not great.
You can you use my inspiration, my bardic inspiration, to try and make it better?
You could. You'd have to roll a 5 or better. No, you'd have to roll a 6. You'd have to roll a 6 or better on a d6, actually.
I'm gonna save it for a hit.
No, 5 or better. But yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
So yeah, he like forces your your headlock off of him and stands up, like shaking it off, like turning back to Barnabas to face him. Like now, like no teeth in his mouth, just face covered in blood from where he got bapped with the maul. Now Telegor, the other bandit behind Krentz, in between Krentz and Darius, turns towards Galus and takes a huge, like, kind of drunken haymaker swing at you, Galus. And rolls a 6, which I'm going to assume is much lower than your armor class. It looks like your armor class is a 13. So Galus, another quick tip. When you select your token and those 3 bubbles pop up, the red, the green, and the blue bubble, the green is your hit points and the blue is your armor class, for quick reference.
Yeah, mine's 13.
Okay, yeah, so 6 definitely misses. So he, like, just completely goes wide. You kind of, like, dip back, like lean back boxer style, and he totally whiffs it. And their 5th member is dead. Am I missing someone? Yeah, Norum. So Norm is going to also take a punch at Yagra from the side here. And he hits for 2 more damage on Yagra. So Yagra takes another blast in the head from, like, kind of blindsided. It catches her off guard, but she seems to shake it off okay. Leodin, the fight is raging now more than ever. Darius has squirreled away from you. What do you do next?
Is there anything on this table right here?
Just like some candles and empty plates, but you could easily, like, jump. By jumping up there, you would just send him flying.
No. I'm grabbing a plate.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hit Darius with it.
Okay, yeah, they're like the cheap tin, like, tin or aluminum plates.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna just grab it with 2 hands and you just slam it in the face.
All right.
Prisoner with a tray style.
Roll a d20 plus strength plus proficiency for me.
Are we doing plus strength proficiency?
Plus,
or what proficiency are we doing?
Plus strength plus your proficiency. So roll just a d20.
Oh, my up.
It's the same as a strength-based weapon that you're proficient in. If you have one of those, you can roll that instead. A 14, and you're trying to hit Darius with it?
Yeah.
Okay, you turn around and grab this tin plate and just bash it across his face. Why don't you roll a 1d4 plus strength?
All right.
For damage here. You guys are really leaning into the bar brawl aspect of it, and I really appreciate that. You bash him across the head for 3 damage. He, like, shakes it off, and, like, like bread and, like, quipper and chips and, like, other, like, foods just, like, go flying, like, tartar sauce splatters off of him and hits Barnabas. Like, he turns and looks at you with just blood and tartar sauce on his face. And and he's like, "How dare you!" And he, like, winds up getting ready to punch you. Anything else?
Hey, real quick before we move on too far, can we name this, like, show that Blood and Tartar Sauce?
Yeah, sure. This episode will be called Blood and Tartar Sauce when we put it on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably it for me. I'll stay in the fight.
Okay, Barnabas, it's your turn.
So Darius is still going?
Yeah, everyone is going except for that first one.
No, yeah, I just mean Darius is still active. He's not knocked out or anything.
Yep, yeah, the only one that got knocked out is the Tasha's Hideous Laughter one. Darius is, is he bloodied? Actually, he's not quite bloodied. I don't know why I marked him as bloodied. He's hurt, but not, like, bloodied or anything.
You can uncheck grapple too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's taking some hits, but he's up and doing okay.
I think I'm going to. I can move around Darius without disengaging, right? Like
you can, yeah. You can like skirt as long as you don't leave anyone's area of influence, basically.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to move over towards Telegor, since Darius is fairly distracted by Leodin.
Okay. Yeah, you could say you could safely move like just south of Telegor and still not take any opportunity attacks, technically.
All right. That's what I meant.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm just gonna bash Telegor over the head with my maul.
All right, do it. Still going with the lethal damage, yeah?
Oh yeah, fuck him.
Also, the two orcs are just beating the shit out of everyone here.
Telegor has also found a tin plate at this point, taking from Leodin's lead, and like knocks your maul attack aside, using it like a shield above his head.
Hey, fucker, that's trademarked.
Hey, he used it for defense. It's a little different. Anything else, Barnabas?
After he does that, I'm gonna like lean in and just kind of growl into his ear. You really want to fucking do this, you little punk? Just continuing to intimidate the shit out of Telegor.
I like it.
And then, yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So that brings us back to Galus. Galus, what do you want to do for your turn? So a quick note, as one of the things we were just talking about with Barnabas, so there's something called an attack of opportunity. So now that you are in Darius, Telegor, and Krentz's attack range, you're close to these three bandits. Each of them are within attack range of you. If you try and leave attack range, they will get a free attack on you, even though it's not their turn. Unless you use your whole action to do what's called disengaging, which is like you're careful. You instead of attacking, spend your whole action to be like, I'm gonna back up without getting hit, kind of thing. So if you wanted to move away, you'll have to forfeit your action and disengage, or risk a free attack from all three of these guys, or just stay where you are and keep beating ass.
Please tell me there's a pie on one of these tables.
Like you notice actually Bonnie is walking across like to the north side of the tavern with a pie, but not quite close enough, like this way. Not quite close enough for you to grab.
Damn it.
You like think to yourself as you see her walking by, like pie held high, like, damn it, I wish he was 5 feet closer.
I think I'm probably gonna play it smart and back it up a bit.
Okay.
How far can I back up?
Well, so if you use your action to disengage, then you can move your full movement speed, and you don't take any attacks of opportunity.
Okay. So, then I'm just probably gonna back up out.
You do want to take the disengage action though, right? To play it safe.
Yeah, disengage.
Okay, so you take a disengage action, and yeah, you can actually just move your token wherever you want. A handy thing is, while you're dragging your token, you can right. This is kind of weird. So left to click and drag your token, right, to move it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But before you set it down, if you like right click in the midst of a drag, you see an arrow pop up. I don't know if you see. And then if you keep right clicking, it drops like points, and you can like set a path.
Oh.
So while you're dragging, right click a bunch of times to set the movement, and it also measures for you how far you're going, which is nice.
Okay.
This is one of Charlie's favorite things that I always forget to do, and I'm very sorry.
I just like it because it helps us adjudicate the movement rules. We can see very clearly like how far you moved and in what path, and also because I can always look at your last path moved, which you guys may not know, but I look at it a lot. So anyway, move.
I did not know that.
Yep. So move anywhere within 6 squares, basically, Galus.
Okay. I think I'm going to actually move up over here. Is that cool?
Go ahead and just move your token.
Can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead and move your token where you want. Okay. Perfect.
And then I'm just gonna.
So 2 other things I want to tell you real quick about being a bard.
Go ahead.
So if you don't have like a bow or anything, so you could pull out another weapon for free at this point if you wanted. So like if you were backing up and pulling out a bow, but also you have Bardic Inspiration, which you can use 3 times, a day, actually more than that. And you can do that as a bonus action, which means you can do it on top of your normal action as well. So you spent your action on Disengage. If you wanted, you could give a Bardic Inspiration die to one of your teammates, and basically it lets them roll higher on their next roll, or sometime soon.
Okay, I think I would like to do an inspiration roll on the old man, Barnabas.
Okay, great. So to do that, click your token, and those buttons in the top left, your macro buttons that we were using before. Oh, you know what? I got to give you the actually, it's not working. I forgot. Never mind. I thought you had an inspiration thing. So just go ahead and on your character sheet, mark off one of your inspirations used. You have 2 out of 3 left. And Barnabas, she grants you Bardic Inspiration. Now, usually you do it through a song or a poem or some sort of bardish magic. What does it look like when you give inspiration to Barnabas mid-battle, Galus?
So it's like supposed to be like a poem or a song or something?
If you want, yeah, if that's how you cast spells. Or it could even be just a strum of your instrument or, whatever flavor you want to put on that.
I'll do a song. Let's do something about kicking ass.
Cool, so you sing like a jaunty fight tune to him. And he, Barnabas, you can feel the magic infused in Galus's song kind of filling you. All right, great. And Galus, if there's nothing else, click your token and click End Turn on your buttons.
Yes. Excellent.
Perfect. And good turn. And it's Yagra's turn. And Yagra wants to finish off Krentz real bad, so she's going to take one more desperate swing at this boy. Ooh, and misses. He barely dodges the other way. He's drunk on his feet, and it's working out for him for some reason. Hope, it's back on you.
All right, so I'm noticing that Bonnie is kind of running in a direction. Do I see what she's doing exactly?
She's walking across the dining room with a pie towards the table.
Oh, she's chill. Okay, so as she's chilling towards a table, I kind of hop in place, trying to gain some momentum as I'm going to be walking away. But just before leaving, I kind of wink at her and point towards Grig, and I'm like, "Would you mind, darling, helping me tie this one up while we clean up the rest here?" And then I just head off without her saying anything.
She's standing there literally a pie in each hand. What the fuck do you want me to do? Look on her face. And this is before she can even answer, you're gone.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even wait for an answer.
All right, great. I like how you have this kind of swashbuckler, handsome guy thing going on with her, but she's not really getting it fully. All right.
Oh, Bonnie. So, all right. So I'm gonna get into this guy, which I don't know what's his name anymore.
Yeah, it might be covered up by someone else.
Yeah, exactly. So the middle guy.
Okay.
Basically. So I'm going to use my rapier and try to slash beneath his legs, just to try and calm him down a little bit.
Okay. A 13 is a hit.
Oof.
For 9 damage. And that's the one directly to the south of you, or the one in front of Hope?
The one directly to the south of me.
Darius, yeah. So you're going to hit him with a rapier, but non-lethal, you're saying, yeah?
Yes, non-lethal. I'm just trying to...
Describe how you knock him unconscious, or otherwise render him incapacitated.
All right, so basically, as I'm running towards him, I'm taking out my rapier, and I slash just beneath the knees to try and do him in, and he starts falling in an awkward way. So I quickly grab his head and just knock him through a table.
I love it. He starts fall backwards, and you just boom.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, this is falling way better than I expected, and just hit him in.
Perfect. All right. Anything else?
Oh, no. And turn.
All right. Krentz takes another almost knocked out on his feet punch at Yagra. He is like, oh, and critical fails. He like swings so hard he like follows through, spins himself around, and like falls to the ground, like hitting a table on the way down, bouncing, and is now prone on the floor. Like, oh, what the hell's going on?
Did he just $1 Million Baby?
He did almost. He didn't quite $1 Million Baby. Almost did.
Spoiler.
I'm in a Clint Eastwood kind of mood, man.
It's fine.
The one in the middle, the bandit in the middle, is gonna attack at Hope again with a punch. And Darius is going to attack Leodin again. He's still mad about the tartar sauce on his face. The 13, does that hit you, Hope? Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
13 hits you, Hope?
Oh, me. Sorry. 13. I have 13 AC. Sorry.
Yeah, so it hits. So you take 2 damage, punching damage.
No.
And the Leodin, what's your armor class? It's more than 9, yeah?
It's 15.
Yeah, so he misses. He swings and misses you. And Leodin, it's your turn.
So I kind of see everybody's wrapping up their situation, and I'm gonna look at Darius here, and I'm gonna draw my short sword and just kind of point it at him and try to be like, all right, let's relax now. It seems like the rest of your friends can't handle themselves.
You're gonna like trying to intimidate and threaten him, or you're actually gonna swing at him?
I'm gonna intimidate him. I'm not gonna roll for a full hit here.
So what exactly is it you say? You just say like you're like, come on, like.
I say, look at the rest of your friends. This isn't going well for you. Why don't we back off?
Okay, make an intimidation check as you draw your sword and say this to him.
And shit.
What'd you roll?
6.
All right.
I swear you had advantage on that.
I mean, I would normally say yes if they weren't all plastered.
True.
He only rolled an 8, but he does withstand your intimidation. And he's like, you're just making things worse. And he pulls a dagger out of his belt, like prepared to come at you.
Would I be able to roll an attack at this point?
I'm tempted to make the intimidation your action.
That's cool.
I would say because you just spoke. You spoke and drew a sword. I'm gonna say you use your free action and your bonus action. I'll still let you take an action if you want.
All right. I'm gonna go for a non-lethal slap with the short sword.
Okay. Go for it.
Let's see. Sorry.
No worries.
That's 13.
A 13 hits.
That's 5. Just
Perfect.
give him a smack with the flat side.
It badly bloodies him. Like you like hit him so hard in the face that like you make a little cut. Even though you hit with the flat side, the edge still catches his cheek a little bit, and, like slashes it open. And you feel like you like possibly broke his nose. You feel it like just like crush under.
So he's got a broken nose and jaw.
He's like super. He's extremely badly bloodied and also almost out on his feet. He's barely staying up. Like at this
Should've
point,
fucking listened, dude.
You're sure it's only the ale that's keeping him going at this point.
All right. Well, drunken fury aside, I'll let people continue.
Barnabas.
So, Linogar, the guy that's directly north of me, I think he turned around to face Hope, because he just attacked Hope, right?
Uh-huh.
Alright, and this is the guy I've been shit-talking for a few minutes. So I'm just going to take a swing directly for his knees. Non-lethal.
Okay.
But, like, I'm just going to fucking take him out.
Alright, go for it.
And would that be a disadvantage since he's facing away from me? Or advantage for me?
I mean, we usually play with flanking rules. I wasn't gonna do it in this one. I was just gonna do.
Okay, no, that's fine.
A little more.
Normal's fine.
A little more rules is written than our Hammervale games. A 9 unfortunately misses.
Okay.
Anything
That's
else?
it for me. I don't got anything else.
Okay. Galus, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
So Darius is near me, relatively, right?
Yeah, he's like pretty. Yeah, he's like 5 feet away from you.
Okay. So, you said there's stuff on the table, right?
Yeah, there's still a few things left. There's like a couple flagons, like a burning candle on a dish, maybe one empty plate.
Okay, every single thing on the table she's gonna pick up and chuck at Darius.
Okay, so you can throw one of them on this turn.
Damn.
So
Fine.
what do you pick up and throw at him?
The flagon.
Okay, so in chat type /R space. So
Okay.
front /R space D20. Just like that. And then you can also add, why don't you just go ahead and roll that?
Okay.
Just enter that whenever you can.
Just /RD20. Anything else?
No, we'll do the math in our heads because I don't know exactly what your scores are yet. You'll want to go back and check them in a second. You can just roll a straight D20 as is.
Okay.
So you get a 14. You get to add your dexterity and your proficiency bonus to that. So if you look on your sheet, your dexterity is 4. No, sorry, 2.
Yeah.
And your proficiency at level 1 is also 2. So you get to add 4 to your total roll. So an 18 is very good and definitely hits. Why don't you roll a 1d4 plus your dex, which was 2. So roll same thing, /R space 1d4 plus 2. That's how much damage you're gonna deal as the cup just like makes a loud, because it's like a metal flagon too, you know what I mean? So it like makes a loud like ka-ping as it like knocks off his forehead with like great force.
Okay, so I'm so sorry I keep asking this stuff, like RD20/4.
So 1d4. So /R 1d4.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
No worries. Plus 2. And we'll go over, we'll talk about dice nomenclature in just a second as well, because we should have gone over that in the beginning. A 1. Now let's see, did you roll?
Missed the +2. Should be 3.
So it's
Oh, sorry.
no, that's all right. Yeah. So you rolled a 3. And who did you throw that at? Darius, right?
Yeah.
Just ruining this guy's fucking day.
So as this cup like goes ping off his forehead, his eyes like roll back in his head, and he goes over like a falling tree backwards and like bounces off the ground. Like you almost see it happen in slow motion.
I'm just gonna look over. Shit, good throw.
Thanks.
As he falls unconscious on the floor. And so real quick, a note on dice. You may know this already, Nuka. I'm not sure, but D4 means 4-sided dice. 1D4 means roll 1 4-sided dice in the real world. 1D6 means roll 1 6-sided dice, and so on. 1D8, 1 8-sided dice. If it's like 3D4, that means you roll 3 4-sided dice and add them all together. For anyone who may also be new to D&D tuning in at home. And yeah, great turn. You knocked a dude out with a flagon. Anything else for Galus? So you do still have 2 more bardic inspirations if you want to use them as bonus actions. You can also still move if you want.
Shit, I forgot I had an inspiration.
I'm actually pretty good with what I've done so far, so I think Galus is just gonna be just like, that's right! That's about it.
Perfect, I love it. Go ahead and click your token. Yeah, awesome. You got it. Yagra's turn. Yagra is like so like getting frustrated. She hasn't knocked Krentz, this lead guy, out yet. So she takes one more swing. This time though, she gets to do it at advantage because he has been knocked prone by himself. Oh, she rolled double crits on her advantage.
Quadruple damage.
That's how it works.
It does double the damage, which would be 3. She does 6 damage to him. She does like a wind up like field goal kick right up into his teeth as he like gets lifted up by the force and then falls flat on his face, knocked out immediately after that.
Brawl turned into fucking massacre.
Yeah, it's very close. And Hope, it's your turn.
All right. So you told me last turn that I knocked out someone. Is it the guy at the south of me? Is it supposed to be knocked out?
Oh,
or...
is that the guy you got in one hit? No.
I did what, 9 damage last turn?
I don't think I said you knocked anyone out. Did I?
Okay, sure. I'll go ahead and do that again with my rapier. Try to disable him.
Oh,
so
what?
non-lethal rapier hit.
I thought, yeah, man, maybe you did knock a guy out. I can't remember now. Honestly, I'm sorry. So go ahead again. I usually mark damage off like immediately, though, for this very reason, just in case I forget it. It's already been.
That's fine. I'll just do it again. Don't worry about it.
It's a hit.
There you go.
He's gonna fucking do it again.
Ain't no thing. 10 damage.
Yeah, with what? All right, I'll do it again. Gets an extra point too.
And guess what? He has 10 HP left. So describe again how you knock the next one out.
Literally exact same move, and then when I hit him to the table that was reconstructed, and somehow I just go like, huh, deja vu.
I just imagine this guy just going like, seriously.
All right, anything?
There's just a mage on the other side of the room. He used mending on the table. He's like, fucking damn it.
I just fixed that.
He's quick too.
All right, anything else for you?
No, it's all good.
So Noram is the only one left. And he disengages from Yagra and starts again, like the other one, running long ways around the well, trying to escape. And that's his turn. Leodin that one left, and he's booking it.
I'm gonna use I'm gonna call the Yagra in Orcish, and I'm gonna ask pursue or let him go.
Yagra, I think, says to you, man, I'm not sure how she'd react to that question. She says in Orcish, she's like, no, take him out. I need information.
All right. Well, in that point, I'm gonna draw my bow and take a shot.
All right. Non-lethal?
I'll be trying for non-lethal. She said she needs info. Oof. 10.
All right. That is a miss. You can always roll your bardic inspiration.
Yeah, probably should do that.
So if you click your token, one of your macro buttons at the top left literally is just a 6-sided dice icon. And if you click that, it'll expend your... Do you see that?
It's doing nothing. Yeah, I'm clicking it, and it did nothing.
Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. I had to copy so many macros over, so shit's not working.
Oh, you're good. It's all
Perfect.
good.
Yet. Show as token action. I just got to copy it over here real quick. 1 second.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, I had that set as like the torch. On off. Try it one more time. There we go. So you get to add a 3 to your roll, which brings it from a 10 to a 13, which is definitely a hit, my friend.
Great.
So you hear, Hope's guiding words echoing through your head as you loose this arrow, and it strikes Noram as he runs away right in the knee, dropping him incapacitated on the floor.
Wait a minute. Sorry. Did you just say he took an arrow to the knee?
Yep.
Yes.
His adventuring days are over.
Yeah, he's gonna have to become a city guard now, I guess.
I hope you don't need reconstructive surgery.
So as he's like running full speed, you hit him in the knee, and he just like does like one of those fall and slides to a stop, and he's like not moving when he comes to a stop. And as he like falls and slides and hits the ground, and he's the last one down. Like all the onlooking crowd just begin to like hurrah, like cheer, like people come up and start patting you on the back, like everyone's clapping, like the roar, the din of the tavern kind of picks back up. Yagra like stands up and she like looks across these 3 knocked out men over to you, Leodin, and she's like,
hey.
well done, and she does like an orc hand symbol across her chest to you.
I'm gonna copy it or whatever. I probably poorly.
You do it like wrong, yeah. And she's like, but she's like smiles and she's like, all of you, well fought. And just then you hear a woman, kind of Gellis, behind you, closer to the well, scream, like just a blood curdling, like,
oh shit,
and then you hear people like start screaming all around her, and the crowd starts just parting and running. One man, as he runs out of the crowd towards the front door, just goes, "Troll!" And then you see a claw like latch over the side of the well from the inside as this great green beast starts pulling itself up out of the well at the center of the Yawning Portal. Attached to this creature that just stinks of pond scum and filth as it pulls up are these huge, sagging, prehistoric-looking mosquito-type creatures with 4 wings, double sets of wings on both sides, and these huge metal-like kind of proboscises that are like 1.5 feet long. Like the most Jurassic-looking mosquito-type creature you've ever seen are just like hanging full of blood, like bloody sacks off the back of this troll as he climbs out. And as he pulls himself over the edge, a few of them, like fat with blood, pop or like shake off and fall into the pit below. But 3 of these weird mosquito creatures on the troll are like left behind, clinging to him, and they like pull their noses out and like bzzz, like start like flying around the room looking for new targets. As the troll like pulls itself, turns and fixes its gaze on Leoden and like and starts charging towards you, Leoden.
What did I do? Shit!
You're just the closest person. And real quick, let me roll initiative for all of these creatures. And we're going to the top of a new round of combat. Hope.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charlie. This whole thing went from basically like, oh yeah, typical sort of basic adventuring, blah blah blah, and then it just took a turn that I did not see coming.
So this is before we get into the fight, how do each of you react as you see this happen?
Fuck! Why me?
For me, it turned from a complete victory, and the crowd was cheering and everything, and I started playing like a victory song and trying to get some of that sweet praise from everyone into like murder and chaos, and I just like go like bling.
Like people running for their lives. Like people went from cheering to running from their lives in 2 seconds.
Jaw drop. Yeah, exactly.
Anyone else? What are your reactions?
Barnabas. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go first.
I was just gonna say Barnabas just kind of like pulls his maul up, both hands on it, and just kind of, I should have finished my beer.
Galis was in the middle, like she was like enjoying all the praise. She was like, yes, my first sort of part of my adventure, sweet. And then she goes to take a drink of a victory sip out of her beer, and the minute the troll showed up, she like just went and dropped it.
I thought you were gonna say she does a spit take as soon as someone yells troll. She just like sprays beer.
All right, I like that better.
and maybe drops your flagon at the same time, like in combination.
Exactly.
All right, wonderful. So I think we're almost done with today's session after this little troll battle, and maybe like 10, 15 more minutes of roleplay, just very short, kind of wrapping up the session roleplay. I think it's a good time to take a little break. Let's take a 5-minute break. When we come back, we'll pick up at the top of the round of combat, right at the very beginning of a new round, as you defend the Yawning Portal from this troll that has emerged from its well. All right, and everyone who's tuning in at home, thanks so much for being here and tuning in. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. We'll be right back in like just a couple minutes. We're gonna grab some water and get a drink, all that good stuff. See you in a few.
Hey man, a lot of voices in there. Gotta be like 30 people.
That's true. We're back, everybody. Thanks for waiting while we took a really quick break. This is Waterdeep Dragon Heist, Episode 1. This is the newest Wizards of the Coast official Dungeons & Dragons module that has just come out. It comes out, I think, in stores this Thursday, physical. We got the digital version. And we're playing it on Roll20. And our players are an adventuring party. They went to the Yawning Portal Inn and got into a bar brawl, and as the bar brawl wrapped up, a troll crawled out of the well, and that's where we'll pick back up with you guys fighting a troll. And it's at the very top of the turn order, and it's Hope's turn. Hope, the troll has come out of the well. The sturges are flying around it looking for someone's blood to suck. What do you do?
So first initial reaction, jaw drops completely. My little lute kind of loses that one last note. Doesn't make any sense with the rest of my playing, and kind of snap out of it and start making my way towards the right, trying to cut off some of the sturge, and I'm going to be casting a cantrip at it to try and get rid of it, which is Vicious Mockery.
All right.
So you unleash a string of insult. Does it need to have a certain amount of intelligence? Can I just insult stuff that is not intelligent? It seems that I can. Yeah, exactly. I'm insulting something that is not totally aware, but that's fine. I'm still insulting it very harshly.
What makes you think the troll, right?
No, I'm casting it at the
sturge?
small creatures.
Oh,
yeah, the sturge.
I'm so
because,
sorry.
I don't want it to start, spreading around and
Gotcha.
attacking.
I was like, what makes you
a
think
bunch of people.
what makes you think the troll isn't aware? I was like, it might be smarter than you think.
There's also the fact that Hope is not the smartest person in the crayon box.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, wisdom save. Yep.
DC 13.
Oof.
Saves it. Is it half damage next attack?
I think
Spell?
since it's a cantrip, it's usually all or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you cast your spell, but it seems to be wholly unaffected by it. And that makes it. Oh, let's get Krentz out of the order. The troll's turn. Hold on 1 second. Let me set this. All of the sheets in this module are set up to whisper all of the rolls to me instead of showing them, which I hate because I have to change literally every single creature in the module before the battle. All right, there we go. It's fixed. So the troll, as these creatures like pull their little proboscis out of them, and a lot of them, like I said, like literally fall back down in the pit. They're so full of blood they can't fly. You can see the troll, it seems like his skin is like withered and drained, and as they pull out, green troll blood starts like oozing out of his torso and rolling down him. The troll is actually visibly bloodied, which again just means he's half hit points or less, but more so just means you can visibly see he's hurt. All right, and yeah, he charges at Leodin, and he makes a bite attack at you, Leodin, as he like kind of dives at you.
Ow.
And he makes two whooshing claw attacks at you, Galus.
Oh.
In the process.
I actually, I go down from that.
From 8 damage?
Yep, I'm down.
Oh, man. I'm worried about Galus.
Oh,
I think she is also down.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oof. Not the elf squad.
Elf squad down! Elf squad down!
So, Galus, it takes 2 huge swipes at you, knocking you unconscious and incapacitated on the floor. Leodin, it clamps down on your chest and arms, and you feel your breath leave you as like your vision just goes black. Same thing.
Fuck.
You drop to the floor, incapacitated, excuse me. So the second attack also hits you, Galus, which unfortunately for you means you automatically fail your first death saving throw. Actually, you know what? I think you fail twice.
Because it's a critical when you're
Because
down.
it's a melee, and melee is automatically critical when you're down, and critical hits cause 2 failures. Oh no. So Galus, on your character sheet, you're not dead, don't worry, not yet. On your
Okay.
you can pull out of this. So on your character sheet, in the very center, you see your current hit points. It says 8 out of 8 current hit points, top center. And then temporary hit points is the box below that, and then hit dice and death saves are the next 2 boxes. So in death saves, mark failure 2 times. Like I checked the first one for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, check 2 of them. You failed twice. If you fail again, you die. And if you succeed, you have to get 3 successes before you get 3 failures, basically. Unless someone heals you, in which case you're brought back immediately. I'm so sorry. I feel really bad for your
Yeah.
first time playing.
Hey, you killed
This
me
is
my
brutal.
first time.
I did kill Austin his very first time playing. To be fair, that was a much deadlier, not as story-oriented
True.
game. But okay. Anyway,
Just know that I know you as a murderer.
I know it's not a title. I earned it. I'll be honest. Leodin, make a death saving throw for me, friend.
Yes, I will.
As you slip closer to the clutches of blackness. You also slip a little closer to death. Unfortunately for you, my dear friend.
All right.
All right. So just then, hold on real quick. Let me fix this fucking character sheet too. I'm gonna complain about this for the rest of this campaign. So I hope you're all prepared. Advantage toggle, whisper toggle, damn it. So just then, Jernan shouts out like, "Steer clear, Bonnie!" and like pushes Bonnie out of the way as he pulls the biggest fucking greatsword you've ever seen out from below the bar. And some of you may know this very famous greatsword from the tales and the bardic songs written about it. Its name is Grimvault. It glows like a very light whitish blue color. He pulls it out of the bar, like literally like vaults himself over the bar and runs at the troll, like yelling like, "Die, you foul beast! Go back to the depths from whence you came!" And he like runs forward and just starts hacking at it with a speed you've never seen with a weapon of this size. He actually slashes 4 times with Grimvault. He rolls a 22, a 23, an 11, and a 9. The first 2 hit. The 11 and the 9 miss. And he rolls 11. He rolls 23 damage to the troll. Like, he just literally opens up its chest. Like, whoo, just huge gashes of, like, flayed skin, like, ripping open on this thing. As more green blood is just, like, spraying and oozing out all over the place. That's Durnan's turn. Barnabas, you see 2 of your teammates go down. One of them, Galus, obviously, like, mortally wounded. And you see Durnan dash over this bar and start swinging at the troll. And as he's swinging at the troll, he's like, "You boy, take care of the others. I'll take care of this lot." And he starts just like slashing again with this huge greatsword at the troll.
I'm gonna take the advice of the fellow with the big sword and run over to Galus and see if I can stabilize her wounds.
Okay. So you charge over to her through the fray. And are you going to try and stabilize her with medicine? Like, just like first aid? Or
I don't have any sort of magic or anything, so I guess I'll just make a medicine roll.
So medicine check, 10 or better to heal her, to stabilize her anyway. So you rolled a 6, which
I do have
fails.
a bardic inspiration.
So you can use that bardic inspiration if you want. So you remember the words of the song that she sang to you as you're like literally trying to give her CPR on the floor, like compressing her chest. So you can click your token and click the 6-sided dice icon in your macro bar. Should work. There we go. You roll a 4, which brings you up to a 10. Yeah, you just barely make it. And just then, Galus like gasps and catches her breath. Is not awake, like
Actually,
still. Yeah.
She would probably sit up and go, "Take the balls, cocksmither!"
So she's not fully back yet. She's not conscious. She's just stabilized, so she's still unconscious. So
Fair enough.
She'll get a chance to deliver her string of curses very soon. I promise you that. But basically, what that means is your death failures, your death save failures, go back to 0. You can like uncheck mark those by clicking them again. It resets, and now you don't have to keep making saves. You're just at 0 hit points until you've had. Let's see actually how long it takes. It's gonna take you 3 hours to stabilize to come conscious again, unless someone could give you healing magic, which would bring you immediately back. But at least for now, you're not gonna die your next turn.
All right, fantastic. Thank you.
Barnabas, you can move more if you want.
Can I use my movement and drag Galus a little bit away from the giant troll?
I think that is going to be pushing beyond your normal action. So
all right, then I'm just going to stay where I am.
Okay.
Maybe can I ready in action for like if the troll starts to attack Galus, maybe protect her in some way?
Sure. Yeah, you can ready the defend action for sure.
All right. Yeah, I'd like to do that then.
Okay. Sure. Or the help action, however you want to call it. So you give her advantage on, or him disadvantage against her, rather. All right, great. Sturge. So the first. Oops, did our audio cut out? Can you guys still hear me?
Yep,
We
we
hear
can.
you.
I think the
music cut off.
just
Yeah.
changed, possibly. I think that was just the end of that song. Yeah, this first Sturge comes like buzzing haphazardly, all fat and swollen with blood, you know, like a bat, like kind of up and down as it flies, flopping towards you through the air, Hope, and like lunges at you with this 3-foot kind of, or 1.5 foot long metal proboscis. And this might be, okay, it didn't whisper it, thank God. It lodges itself into you for 5 damage, and like you feel its proboscis pierce your skin as it like attaches to your shoulder. Did that bloody you?
It did, yes.
So it like hits you in a pretty meaty spot, like kind of in your collarbone, and arterial spray kind of sprays out as it hits you. All right, let's see what the other Sturge is doing. One's gonna fly towards Bonnie, trying to latch onto her. And one is gonna latch onto, actually I don't think he goes for Durnan. I think he's gonna go for you, Barnabas, since you're down on the floor, unoccupied. So 2 more Sturge attacks. The first one tries to attach itself to the waitress, Bonnie, as she's like now like watching, you know, in horror.
Bonnie, no.
An 8 misses Bonnie. She's got a pretty freaking high armor class. And the second Sturge lunges at you, Barnabas, with its huge proboscis. Ooh. And like lodges itself into you, deeply into like under your arm and in your rib cage. And you feel its little feet like pushing all over you as it's like trying to lunge its needle in further. You take 7 piercing damage, and it's attached. Are you bloodied now as well, Barney?
Yep, Barney is looking a little red.
So Galus, unfortunately, you're just stable but unconscious. You can't do anything this turn.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you better be.
At least you're alive. Oops, it skipped Yagra's turn there for some reason. It's supposed to be Yagra's turn, so we'll do her real fast. Yagra's going to charge the troll. And as she does, she draws out a mace and swings it twice, like with great fury at this troll. Once, twice. The second one, like, bashes into the back of its knee. And Hope, it's now your turn.
All right, so I can move while this thing is attached to me, right?
You can. You can also, if you want, remove it for free as an action. No check necessary, but you waste your whole action to do so. Or you can leave it in you and move, and it will draw 1d4 plus 3 hit points due to blood loss at the beginning of its next turn.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me next turn anyway. So might as well try to do something out of my turn. So I'm going to throw a bardic inspiration to. I'm assuming I can give it to anyone who's half dead. So I'm going to give it to Barnabas.
Okay. By the way, I fixed your little macro. Now it does work if you want to try it again.
Okay, so I need to click on someone, you say, or just myself?
Click your token, then click the dice inspo button, and then it'll ask you for
there you go.
A target. There we go.
So Barnabas, you have now bardic inspiration with a bonus action, and with my main action, I'm gonna start running towards my downed friend, and I'm gonna slide on the ground and try to arrive right next to him and try to stabilize him so he doesn't die.
Okay, so it'd be like you baseball slide in with this.
Yeah, exactly.
With this.
So if I fail my check, that means I slid too far and I actually hit him instead of trying to help him. And if I succeed, then I actually stop in the right place and succeeding in plugging that one hole coming in from across the room.
Perfect. I love adding a negative consequence to a failure, so I'm all for that. I'm not gonna actually make you roll damage if you fail. I don't think a 9. Yeah, you slide into him a little hard, and you're not able to get a good hold where you can either pull him away or start patching him up. Instead, you just kind of crash into him haphazardly, and I'm gonna say that makes you prone as well.
Oh yeah, I'm totally prone.
All right. Let's see.
And turn for me.
Anything else? No. And you gave Bardic Inspiration to Barnabas. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. And the troll's turn again. So the troll, swings wildly at Durnan. 3 different swings. Excuse me. It takes huge swiping swings of its claws. Oh, actually, first, you notice the giant, ribbon-like slashes across this troll's belly that have been bleeding start to, literally just, suture up in front of your eyes. It seems to be regenerating. And then it takes 2 wicked claw attacks towards Durnan. The second of which strikes Durnan for 9 damage. He seems pretty fine. It seems to not phase him whatsoever. It also takes a bite at him. And it bites down on his shoulder as he cries out in pain, "Ah, you devil beast!" And then he takes, more swings with his giant sword at it. That's gonna bring us to Leodin's turn. Leodin, make a death saving throw.
Yay!
Oh my god. You roll a critical hit on your death save. Congratulations, my friend. You revive with 1 hit point. You gasp awake.
What?
And I'm like, I guess I did it.
That's perfect.
I'm gonna get up and just see him next. Thanks. Oh, all right.
So you're
does that revive me with an action?
It actually does give you your. No, I believe it's technically death saves happen at the end of your turn.
Okay, good. Okay, I will end my. So I will end my turn alive.
You are alive and awake, but you're prone and have 1 hit point.
All right, better than dead.
It is definitely better than dead. Durnan takes 4 more huge slashes at the beast with his giant magical greatsword. The first one hits, the second one hits, the third one hits. The fourth one definitely hits. Oh, actually, you know what? I lied. The second and third one miss. But the first and the fourth hit, so he does 9 plus 12 damage to it. Just, again, slashing this troll, this time lopping one of its giant clawed arms off as it falls, writhing to the floor. Right next to you, Leodin, actually, right next to your face. This, writhing troll arm just, lops to the floor, oozing green blood next to you.
I'm gonna grab it.
Barnabas, your turn.
Alright, first off, I'm going to use my second wind to regain 1d10 plus 1 health points, which is a bonus action.
Okay, your second wind? Or first? Is that what it is?
Yeah, the ability is second wind.
Yeah, cool. I actually have a macro for that too, which I'll set up for you later.
Cool.
So yeah, you use your second wind action. You what does it look like? Or is it a mental thing for Barnabas? Would you say? And you gain 5 hit points back while doing so.
I mean, I'm guessing kind of shortly after this thing stabs me in the side of the chest, I'm just gonna stand up and arms up in anger, just roar with agony, but also anger, just ah.
Just use that.
Just give him Kyle Ken.
I love it.
Yeah, pretty much. I go Kaioken times 10, and then immediately following that, with my action for the turn, I'm gonna like just grab it and rip it out, and then like just have it in my hand there.
Nice.
You know, by its proboscis.
So you fight through the pain basically and gain 5 hit points back. And anything else this turn?
I guess just as a role player, I'd like to look over at my teammates and say, "Enough fucking nap time. Let's fucking do this."
I love it. I love it.
Beautiful. All right. The Sturge's turn. Oh, so Hope. Hope.
What do you want?
Your slide brought the Sturge with you. It's still attached, and it rolls, I believe, 1d4 plus 3 damage. As you feel it just like sucking the blood out of your body. Let's see here. 4 damage.
Yep, I'm out.
Knocks you unconscious. You feel like, again, like your vision kind of, you know, closing in as it's just like draining all of your lifeblood.
It's okay. I was in my victory of thinking that I actually saved my friend, and then I just like fall to the ground.
Barnabas, you still have one attached as well, right?
I just ripped it out. Like, it's not attached to me anymore.
So does second one take an action or a bonus action is my question.
I think it's a bonus.
The second one is a bonus, and
Okay.
as my action,
As your action, you yanked it out of you. Okay. So it fell to the floor and then like again like started flying like back up next to you, trying to, you know, lunge at you again.
Well, so I ripped it out. Do I have to let go of it, or can I still be holding on to its stem?
Oh, that's
much?
right. I
just
forgot
ripped
you
it out.
said you held on to it. Well, I feel like
If not, that's fine. I'm just asking.
you can make a grapple check. I don't see why not. So go ahead and make an athletics check for me to see if you're able to hold on to it as it struggles to fly away from you. Oh, barely, but yes, you do hold on to it. It's a wily thing and hard to hold on to, but you keep it tight in your orcish grip. Regardless, it can still attack at you, just with disadvantage, which it does, and hits. It attaches itself to you for, 7 piercing damage. This time,
Alright, so it's back on me.
This time into your arm, like in your wrist, because you're holding it. You know what I mean? So it has like perfect access at the top of your wrist. You feel it like jab into your bone as it starts like drawing blood again. And the other one attacks Bonnie one more time. Ooh, and needles itself right into Bonnie's back as she like lets out a scream and falls face first to the ground, and it starts drawing her blood out. Galus, I'm so sorry. You're still unconscious.
I'm sure all this would be really interesting if I was conscious.
I feel so bad. This is what a way to spend your first battle. I don't know. You were your cup kill though is legendary, so I don't know. All right, Yagra is going to attack the troll as well. Oops. Second one hits and knocks the troll unconscious on the ground. Though you can see its like wounds still like starting to heal up, and its arm is actually sliding across the floor now toward it. Unless you actually are gonna pick it up, Leodin.
Yeah, I'm picking it up.
You feel the arm like pulling towards the troll's body, and you can even see like the skin at the severed end of the arm like growing outward towards the troll.
Ew.
It's quite disgusting. Hope, why don't you make death saving throws? First success. The troll's turn, so the troll regenerates. You see like its wounds like suck back up, and like its eyes blink back open, and it sits up on the floor. No longer dead. Leodin, you have 1 hit point, you're prone, you're next to a troll. What do you do?
You know, I think I'm just gonna take the I'm gonna take that arm and I'm gonna yeet it down the hole.
Yes! Yes! That is brilliant!
That's really good. I love it. Do it. So you don't have to roll for that either. I'm not even gonna make you take that as an action. That's easy enough that I would say it's a bonus action to do.
All right. Great. And then with that, I'm gonna try to pop this goddamn mosquito that's on my friend with my short sword.
Perfect. You can also just remove it with an action. It's your call.
I should probably take it out before. But it's an easier. I'm gonna take it out. I'll take it out. I'll take it out.
Okay, so you spend your action to pull this thing out, and you know what? I'm gonna give you the same opportunity that I gave Barnabas. Do you want to try and hold on to it after you pull it out, or?
Yeah, I may as well.
All right, go ahead and make an athletics check for me. They're not super strong. They're just.
Neither am I.
Yeah, they. Oh, yeah, 15.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't mean to roll at a disadvantage. So, yep, it manages to like flap out of your grasp, but it is no longer attached to Hope.
I'm sure it will soon be in my grasp.
And I think that's everything. Bonus action for you, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Durnan's turn.
I'm all done.
So Durnan like turns to Barnabas and Leoden, and he's like, "God damn it! Get a lamp off the wall! Burn the damn thing, or it'll never stay dead! Quick!" And he like points to a bunch of like burning lamps kind of on the southern wall. He's like, "I'll fight it off as long as I can," and he's like, he keeps slashing at it, as he's pointing at the lamps along the wall. So he makes his 4 attacks. 26, 19, 26, 26. Wow, super random there, roll 20. Yeah, he slashes the troll back into death, hacks another arm off this time, and the troll crashes back to the ground. This time in pieces and just like gushing blood. Barnabas, you do have a Sturge attached to you.
I am going to use my action to remove the Sturge again.
Okay.
And instead of holding on to it, kind of try and toss it away. Maybe disengage myself from it.
Okay.
And then move towards the lanterns on the wall.
Same thing. I'm gonna do a opposed strength check to see if you can throw it. You gotta be able to hold on to it to throw it.
You need athletics again?
Yep. So beat a 14, 14 or better to throw. No, you pull it out, but you're not able to toss it. It just floats in the space next to you. Again, drops to the floor, pulls itself back up. Just trying to repeat the exact same process. It's just a thoughtless blood machine.
Thoughtless Blood Machine is the name of my metal band, by the way.
Oh, sick. Can I play drums?
I guess I can't do much else. If I disengage, I'll get attacked, so...
Yeah. You can risk a bonus opportunity attack. Might miss.
Alright, yeah. I will, bolt towards the lanterns.
Ooh, that's very risky. Very risky, boy. Alright. So as you bolt away from this creature, it takes another lunge at you with its metal-like needle nose. I'm rolling hot tonight. Oh, for 4 damage.
Hold on, my AC is 18.
Oh, it is? Oh, look at that! I forgot you're a fighter. So, are you wearing armor?
Yeah.
What kind of armor?
I think leather.
All right. So yeah, its nose like clink against like a metal plate on your leather, and like literally bends into the soft leather of your armor, and like you just like sweep it away with your hand as you run over to the oil lamps like lining the small kind of shelf along the wall there. Well done.
Yep, I'm good.
All right, Sturge's turn. So real quick, I meant to do this on Durnan's turn. I'm also gonna let Bonnie retaliate against the Sturge on her. Oops, I whispered it to myself. She rolled a 15 for 7 damage. She literally, and her attack is slam, by the way, which is awesome. So Bonnie, the waitress who's being just innocent bystander being attacked by this Sturge up here, like stands back up, or actually gets on her hands and knees because she got knocked down, remember? And it's like on her stomach. With one hand, she like pulls it out of her stomach, and then like overhand just like boom, smashes it on the floor as it like pops and blood just sprays everywhere.
Damn, don't fuck with Bonnie.
Oh my god.
Bonnie is formidable, to say the least. And now it's the Sturge's turn. There are 2 left. One attacks Yagra. And that one's flying kind of in between Leodin and Yagra. The other one... flies at Leodin and tries to jab into him. So, first attack, this is against Yagra. The Sturge lunges forward, piercing right through like the underneath armpit area of her armor into her rib cage, and she takes 5 piercing damage. The next one comes flying at you with a fury, Leodin, and lunges. Oof, knocking you unconscious again.
Goodbye. Oh shit! Just fall down.
You fall down to the ground with another Sturge leeching from you.
Can I squish it with my thud?
No, unfortunately no. Galus, I'm so sorry. You're still down. Yagra,
I'm so sorry.
Yagra tries to kill the one on her, the Sturge that's attached to her, and yeah, she like just like smashes it against her own chest, and it like poof, pops like gorilla smash, gorilla chest beat. Hope, death saving throw. First failure.
Nope.
The troll regenerates 10 hit points and stands back up, or sits back up. This time, still missing 2 arms. Its other arm starts to like slither across the floor toward it. Leodin. Death saving throw.
Yay.
Fail.
Alright.
Durnan, once again, I'm not even going to roll, just slashes the troll back to dead on the ground. Barnabas, save the fucking day, please.
Barnabas is going to use... first off, he's going to use one of his hand axes and throw it at the remaining Sturge that's sticking out of Leodin.
Okay.
Just to save his ass. Just to get them at least okay.
You're throwing a hand axe at who now? I'm sorry.
The last
one on
Sturge is
Leodin.
sticking out of Leodin. And I'm going to use my Bardic Inspiration on that too to make sure that hits.
Okay, because it misses. So you definitely want to use it. A 2, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, its armor class is 13. And it literally just like explodes in like a bloody pop all over Leodin's clothing.
And then, is throwing a lantern a bonus action, or do I have to wait a whole nother round before I can throw a lantern?
Usually to throw it's a bonus action. If you want to move and get to the space next to it, I'll say you can touch a lantern to it as an action. Just for the sake of speeding this up, because it's going to happen regardless.
Alright, then I'm going to jump over all of these unconscious bodies with a lantern.
Just a pile of unconscious people.
And just smash it down over this troll.
All right.
Just burst it right onto it.
And yeah, the lantern just like poof, ignites on the dead troll's body and just starts like burning. You smell burnt hair and flesh as it like literally starts bubbling, like these huge green bubbles that are popping with like, you know, the green blood of the troll. It like literally starts turning into a gooey mass, like a formless mass with no bones. And Durnan's like, quick, push it in the well before it melts. And he like starts like kicking it towards the well as it rolls. And he like flips it up over the side and it just like falls into the darkness below.
I wanna look over to the well as I see this like falling flaming troll and say, eat shit, you green-skinned fuck, and then spit.
I love it. I absolutely love that. All right, so congratulations, you defeated the battle. Durnan turns to you, Barnabas, and he's like, well done, laddie. I'm glad I had you to fight next to me. I didn't know what would have happened to my tavern. She would have burned down, most likely. Or everyone would have been murdered. Oh well, thanks for the troubles. And he like, just like jauntily whistles and walks back to the bar, dragging his sword behind him. Where he like stashes it up underneath the bar and sits down on a barrel and starts like wiping down the bottles again, just like he was before
I like
the troll came
thought
up.
that he's got just a ridiculous greatsword under the bar, just like a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, well, back to business as usual.
He literally sat down in the exact same spot and just started polishing bottles exactly the same way he did before the battle happened.
I like that you're having that whole conversation while we're still bleeding down, trying to save our lives.
So
rolling death saves.
Yes, you have a few people who are about to die, who are still making death saves. Barnabas, do you want to make any stabilization checks? Yagra will try and stabilize one of you. She'll try and stabilize Hope. Or wait, which one was she connected with? Leodin, right?
Yeah.
She's actually going to try and stabilize Leodin.
All right, then I'll try and stabilize Hope.
And she fails. Leodin, make a death save.
Okay.
Success. And then she stabilizes you the next turn. So.
Okay.
Barnabas, go ahead and make a roll medicine check. Roll a 10 or higher to try and stabilize Hope. Oh yeah, first try, you stabilize her. And just for the sake of everyone, I'm going to say it's going to take 3 hours for each of you to come back. But just then, as the crowd kind of goes back about their business, it's weird. The crowd didn't even clear out. They just kind of moved to the second floor while the troll was here. People start like filtering back down, like setting this, the chairs and stools back up by their tables. People that work here like sweeping up the dead bodies. And people are coming up congratulating you, thanking you, calling you hero, all this other stuff. As, 3 of you are unconscious, someone pushes through the crowd towards you. And it is a very well-dressed man. The figure who approaches you strokes his mustache, adjusts a floppy hat, and tightens his scarf. And he reaches out towards you, Barnabas, with like a delicate hand out. And he's like, Velothamp Gedam, chronicler, wizard, celebrity, at your service. Your name is?
Barnabas.
Oh, lovely to make your acquaintance. That was quite impressive, Barnabas. He like looks down at where you spit and like slowly looks back up at you and is like, right. Anyway, if you don't mind, I'd like to help your compatriots. And he like pulls his like little satchel on his chest open and pulls out a little vial filled with red liquid. And he like leans over each of the downed people in your party and drops just like a little drip of the red liquid in their mouths. And each of you come back with 1 hit point. Also, about this time, the bandits that you had beat up, or during the troll fight, really, rather, near the end there, they were all kind of waking up, beaten and half unconscious and, like, scrambling out of the bar under the distraction of the troll battle. And are now gone. So everyone else, you're back to life. So you each come back to life again, like, with a startling gasp as this man... in a funny hat and very well-dressed traveling merchant's clothes, stands over you, like pulling your eyelids down, looking in your pupils, being like, yes, everything looks quite right.
I don't owe you anything, do I?
Well, maybe a favor, but...
Ah, shit.
I wouldn't say a favor, more just a conversation. Volothamp Geram, and he, like, reaches out to pull you up off the floor.
I'll take his arm and stand up. Thanks.
He pulls up Galus as well, and turns back as like Hope is standing up, and he's like, "What were the rest of your names? I wasn't quite introduced. Quite heroic what you did, I must say. You put yourself right in harm's way."
Well,
I am Leodin Alphys.
Side-eye at Leodin.
Hey, okay, I deserve that. Leodin Alphys, at your service, apparently.
Oh, lovely to meet you. And you were? He turns towards Galus and like reaches his hand daintily out for a handshake. What was your name, lady?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly just happened.
Well, let me tell you, a troll crawled out of this well here. You and your compatriots were standing nearby, and... well, you were felled by a troll, my dear. Not many can say they've survived that. In fact, I have some questions for my next book. And he, like, pulls out a notebook and starts thumbing through pages. He's like, if you don't mind, we could sit down. I'd love to ask you about your experience.
Is this gonna have to cost me anything?
No, like I said to your friend, simply a conversation. And Galus, was it?
Yes, indeed. And if there's anything I do like to do, it's to talk about myself.
Well, lovely. You'll be a perfect subject for my research. then he turns to Hope, and he's like, "And you, my horned friend," like, you know, kind of noting that he can tell you're trying to hide your horns, but still see them.
Yeah, I extend my hand and to meet his, but I'm not necessarily doing it out of just pure politeness. I'm definitely trying to size him up to see if there's any hidden motives behind his overly joyous, because no one is overly joyous like this for reasons.
Well, he does seem a little uptight. He definitely doesn't like the filth of it all. He was disgusted by the spit from Barnabas. But I will say, before we make this roll to see, you know, if you can check his insight, does anyone here know or recognize Volo? He's very famous. He's a very famous author. Famous in Forgotten Realms for writing Volo's Guide to Monsters.
I would assume I've heard the name just based on, like, you know, around town being from Waterdeep and owning a shop.
Definitely.
I definitely know who he is, but I'm totally pretending not to because I'm hoping he doesn't charge me.
Okay, great.
I'm clueless.
Wait a minute. Okay. So she goes, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did you say your name is Volothamp Gedon?
Indeed, lovely to meet your acquaintance. You've heard of me. He kind of like rubs his mustache again. Oh, well then it's lovely to meet you. It's always great to meet a fan.
And you say you're gonna write about me?
Possibly, depending. Why don't you and your friends join me at my private table right back this way? We'll have a little chat about it if you don't mind.
The only things I talk about are fighting and bread.
I can provide bread. I'd be happy to do so. In fact, I think
I don't want none of this shit bread they have here. I only eat my own bread. It's the best bread in the city.
Just don't start with the bread conversation. We'll just go sit, okay?
Well, actually, if you have some insights into the uses of yeast for alchemical purposes, I am doing a paper. I would love to pick your brain.
I can give you the best damn recipe you've ever had for your damn little pamphlets or whatever it is you write.
Interesting. Right this way, please, my friends. My new friends, come sit with me. And he leads you like back across the bar.
I'll go sit.
All right. As you're going, Yagra rather comes like, you know, rubbing her wounds away from like pushing the rest of the dead sturges into the well, and stops you, Leodin, on your way over, kind of following Volo back to his table. And she's like, "Thank you, you good warrior. Friend.
I try."
She like reaches out. She's saying this in like kind of broken common. She reaches out to give like the forearm grab handshake to you.
I'll return it.
All right.
You're like, I was just. You honestly looked like you didn't need the help.
She's like,
that guy's missing more than a few teeth.
She's like, not Yagra's first fight. She's like,
obviously.
She's like, you ever need favor? You need meeting with Waterdavian noble? You talk to Yagra.
I will hold you to that.
And then just then, this beautiful blonde sun elf who's been hiding in the back corner comes padding lightly across the bar, common room, and over to Yagra. And he's like, "Dearest Yagra, it is time to leave for our business now. Are you ready?" And she's like, "Yes, we go, Davil." And Davil, this blonde elf, turns to you and he's like, "And your name was?" And he like also reaches his hand out for a very delicate handshake. Beautiful blonde, like long hair, sparkling eyes.
Leodin, Alphys. Nice to make your acquaintance.
Ah, the name is Davil. Davil Starstrong. Lovely to meet you. Now, we must be going. And he's like, "Yagra," and then he like, you know, they whisk away together.
I kind of wipe my hand off.
And why don't you make a perception check real quick for me?
Sure.
Never mind.
9.
Never
I hate the DM saying that.
So And then also, I think as you're going and you're about to like the back stairwell, which is going to lead you up to where kind of Volo's table is on the second floor, Bonnie comes across and stops Hope. And she's like, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me."
I turn around and I'm still kind of distrustful of Volo, but when I notice that she's talking to me, I kind of lighten up a lot.
She has kind of a quiet but serious tone about her, and she's like, "I just wanted to know your name, please, if I might."
My name is Hope, Silent Threat, but you can just call me Hope.
Bonnie, I saw what you did back there. It was quite brave, and I appreciate it. And she like reaches out for a handshake with you.
Thank you, and I take the hand with both hands and shake thoroughly.
All right. Why don't you make also a perception check for me?
I shall, when I find it.
Also, never mind.
Also, never mind.
All right, and she's like, "I'll see you around then. Lovely to know you." Like kind of quiet and stuttery, and then, you know, puts her head kind of down, eyes to the floor, and makes her way back to the bar.
And I kind of stutter as she's going away, like, "Yes." But she doesn't hear anything. I'm just like murmuring at this point.
She's already gone at that point. All right, great. And then you all follow Volo back to his table. He sits you down, and that's where we'll pick up next time. As you talk with Volo, and he asks you for a favor, possibly. So.
All right.
Great job, everyone. I'm going to give everybody 100 experience points. So go into your character sheet. I think you have to click a little cog at the top of your character sheet to open up like the area where your character's name is, and then you can add experience points in. So 100 XP each. Yeah, and super great job. What do you guys think so far?
Loving it. Loving it.
I
think it was way too close for comfort, but it was great.
So I will say I've been playtesting this with another offline group, just privately. They are playing a different season. So one of the ways that this game or this module works, which is cool and something that's never really been done before, there are 4 different villains who can be the possible villain in this module. And the villain that you guys end up facing in the heist, it's you versus someone else to get this heist pulled off in time, basically, because the name is Dragon Heist. The villain depends on the season of the year. And so I will tell you that it's just rolled over into fall, and the leaves have started changing here in Waterdeep. So that will coincide with who your villain is. Now, the other villains will still be there as backdrop pieces and parts of the story. They won't just be the one you're up against, per se. So that's really cool. I'm excited to see how you guys explore that.
That is very cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It gives a lot of replayability, which is nice. But anyway, so I've been playtesting this group with another group, or this game with another group, offline. They're playing a different season, but the first like 4 missions are the same, no matter what season you choose. And it played out way differently, this battle. We wrapped this up in 45 minutes when they did it, and it was like exactly the same. But they had a different composition of classes as well, including, is that the double cleric group? I think so, which helps a ton.
It also didn't help that we started with cups, plates, tables, chairs.
They actually did not do the bar fight nearly as well as you guys did, though. They didn't improvise, and like they didn't really swashbuckle or bar fight, whereas I felt like all of you did very, very well. We painted a great fight narrative today, you know, which I think is a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the next few sessions. Will be a little more investigative and a little more roleplay oriented. And you'll get to explore Waterdeep quite a bit for your first quest that Volo's going to give to you. So it should be really fun.
Great.
And everyone who tuned in at home, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be back doing this at the same time next week. So make sure you check back. This will also be up on YouTube and hopefully out as a podcast eventually. And before we go, let's go back through our cast members just really quick. Do some shout outs if you guys have anything you want to plug or promo. Some of you, have never really been featured on our channel that much, and we have a lot of regular viewers. So our regular viewers, make sure you go check these people out, follow them, give them friend requests, whatever it is they might be doing. Let's start with Austin. Austin, do you have anything else going on you want to plug?
Well, only our Eberron session whenever I start running it. When we get that going, it'd be cool if people stop by for that. I love Eberron. It's probably my most known and favorite setting. People who are Forgotten Realms nerds here, I am an Eberron nerd. Hardcore.
Perfect.
So I'm really excited for that.
So yeah, we're kind of giving you guys the best of both of these two Dungeons and Dragons worlds in that I'm dungeon mastering this campaign in Forgotten Realms, which I'm steeped in. And Leodin is going to start running a campaign. I believe we're doing it not this Monday, 2 weeks from Monday, so 3 Mondays from now. I'll have a date and put it in our Discord, but he's going to run us through the Eberron world, which I've never played in. I know very, very little about, and so do all of the other players. We're all like brand new to it. And that features our good friend Tommy Said What. It features Momo. It features Vincent, Spike, Jihad. All your favorite Chopshop family folks are going to be on that show. So it's like an awesome group. It's going to be a great campaign. So yeah. And thanks so much, Austin, for being here and playing Leodin. You were great.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this.
Easy Sailor Barnabas, who are you? And where can we find more of your stuff?
I'm not used to going second.
I know, I got you. I knew it was gonna fucking get you.
Well, I bet you didn't know what I was gonna promo, because I always promo something different.
That's true.
Charlie, I bet you didn't know this, but I'm on a podcast on Sunday nights that also airs on the Chopshop Network called Space Case, and that is a fun game. Every other Sunday, so hopefully it's Sunday.
You like roboted out in the middle of that sentence, and then it came right back. But yeah, check out Space Case. Easy. This is a real promo. Usually your promos, you say you're someone else, and then you promote their stuff. But you actually are in Space Case. Game. You're actually in Space Case. So yeah, check it out on Sunday. We play a sci-fi RPG game. It's also podcasted, streamed, YouTube. Thanks. I
play a big, clumsy guy named Jupiter Dangle. That's the best name I could think of.
His character, Dangle. His character's really great. So thank you again.
Name.
Easy, thanks for being here, man. You were great, and I'm glad I can give you the Forgotten Realms experience you've always wanted. Galus, where can we find more of you, or what do you have going on?
Well, since I finally have a functioning computer that it can play more modern games, you might see me a little bit more with Lady Death Squad. Check those ladies out on Thursday evenings, at around, I don't know why I can't think of the time, but they do things on Thursday evenings, so give them a watch.
All right. And last but certainly not least, our friend Seizure, also known as Bougie Power, who plays Hope. Oh, and also, Galus, I want to say, for your first session ever, you did amazing. You did so good. I'm so proud of you. You could honestly keep up with a lot of longtime D&D players, no problem.
Oh yeah. Oh, no issue.
And so I really look forward to taking you into this more. I hope you liked it, because I think once you get more into this, you're gonna really love it. Just knowing.
Let me tell you guys, this was a blast. I had a fantastic time. You're a really good dungeon master, Charlie, and you guys are so much fun to play with. I had such a good time.
Perfect, and thank you so much for being here. Okay, now sorry, Bougie. Sorry to go to you and then tear the spotlight back away.
I absolutely got nothing to say. I just enjoy D&D. I dungeon master my own stuff with my friends, but never get to play in a setting like this. So thank you guys for giving me that opportunity to just join in as a nobody and just do some roleplay with you guys. It was a blast. So thank you again.
Yeah, and I'm gonna plug this for you because you're not, but you do stream sometimes.
It's I don't even have a schedule. It's very amateurish.
But
so yeah, there's nothing much really to.
We're a small, tight knit community. We all are small streamers. And at least
Final Fantasy Tactics, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
I'm playing Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which is a mobile game over on my channel from time to time. Oops. So it's all small stuff. But if you ever want to just hang out and chat, well, I'm going to be there, and it's going to be a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah, I hung out while you played Castlevania Symphony Night the other day, and it was fucking awesome. So you guys go check that out as well. And one last big thank you so much, Seizure, for being here, and everyone else. You guys are the best. Thank you for everyone watching at home. We love you. This is our first episode, so we will keep these promos at the end a lot shorter in the future. I just really want you guys to get to know the cast members this first episode. And next time we'll jump right back in as you guys talk to Volo. So yeah, check us out. Hit the like or the follow or the subscribe button. Someone, while we were doing the promos, gave us a follow, by the way. And I didn't call it out, but thank you so much for the follow. New follower, we love you. Everyone say hi. And yeah, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey.
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.
Galmar.
Chopshop.